Hello everybody and welcome to the Motorland Aragon circuit here for round number 5 as we return for another week's racing in the NXTGEN Racing's Mazda MX5 Cup. We head into the second half of this season as we now go into the back 4, and that means that the championship fights are just going to get tighter as the evenings progress. 4 more weeks to go, including tonight. And right now, it is looking good for championship leader Isaac Doble in your pro class, and for Pro-Am championship leader Phil McDougall. Both of them fastest of their classes out there in the practice session right now as well. It is a fun layout out there. It is going to promote a lot of racing, but drivers are going to need to be careful. We will talk more about track limits in just a moment's time, but first, about the calendar that we have remaining here. We are here for the 5th round of racing action at the Motorland Aragon circuit. As you can see, we're running the Motorcycle GP layout here, which is slightly different to the normal layout of the circuit. We aren't doing the hairpin at the end of the course. Instead, we have a nice flowing double left-hander of 16 and 17. We head across to the Red Bull Ring next week. It's going to be very similar to the styles of Monza, I believe, because it is going to be a circuit that is heavily focused on slipstream, and I think we're going to see a lot of groups forming there. We head across to Thruxton Circuit for the round number 7 on the 9th of December, and finally rounding off on the 16th of December, we head across to the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, also known, of course, as Mosport, to finish this season off. But right now, with half the season complete in the Pro Championship, as I was saying, it is Isaac Doble leading the way. But it is not a dominant lead for him by any stretch of the imagination. As between himself and Kieran Sharp, you can see there just a singular point separating them at the moment. Kieran Sharp taking his first win of the season back at the first race of the day in Long Beach last week. Doble did take his second win of the season in race number 2, and Delmont, after going around in the first race of the day last week in the wet on dry tyres, he did take his third win of the season in race number 3, and they are the 3 drivers at the top of the championship standings, and the 3 drivers that are heavily invested into winning this championship at the front. They are our 3 front runners, that's for sure. Best of the rest at the moment in that championship, Mikey Doble sits in 4th position with 121 points. He sits just ahead of Jamie Dory. Only 3 points separate those at the moment. Adam Wilson-Weir, he sits in 6th position. Wilson-Weir has taken a win this season. He managed to do that Zandvoort race number 3. It was inherited to him with Sam Spinell's post-race penalty. Of course, that does mean that Wilson-Weir does have one up on Jamie Dory, who is yet to find his way to victory lane this season. And you got Nick Clibbins in 7th, only 2 points behind again. Clibbins, another driver who has got a win to his name, and outdoing Dory in that department at least. Then you got Andrew Pike, he sits in 8th position. Sam Spinell sits in 9th, and Ben Oucher rounds out your top 10 in your pro standings at the moment. But of course, Doble and Sharp, 2 names that you are going to want to pay attention to, and they are the fastest 2 drivers in the session at the moment as well. I say that as Sam Spinell actually goes 2nd fastest and knocks Sharp down to 3rd. But just showing that Doble and Sharp are up there at the top end of the grid and will be looking to best each other and take the lead, or in Isaac Doble's case, retain the lead in the pro standings. In the Pro-Am standings then, Phil McDougall only just holds on to his lead at the top. He had a substantial lead heading into Long Beach, but a poor weekend for a Ponshoy for him, and it has allowed Alan McCain here to close up to just 8 points behind. Nigel Stock is on 130 points for him. He sits just a point clear of Carl Thompson, who's a further 6 points clear of Mark Seitz. That's your top 5 there. Matthew Cheverton doing a good job in 6th position at the moment as well. And Adrian Fritsch getting more consistent as the season goes on. He sits in 7th ahead of Sam Smith, Michael Clough, and Matt Gatter rounding out the Pro-Am top 10 standings as well. As I said then, we are here at the Aragon circuit. We are doing the motorcycle GP loop, and you can see at the end of the lap there that long double left handle of turns 16 and 17. This circuit itself running at 3.15 miles long. That's equivalent to just over 5 kilometers, 17 turns, of which 10 of them are to the left, only 7 of them to the right, which makes it quite a rare circuit in the aspect that not many circuits are anti-clockwise, but this is one of the few, one of the most famous, well, two of the most famous ones, of course, being Interlagos and Imola. However, Motorland Aragon circuit is another circuit that is an anti-clockwise circuit. And talk about Formula One circuits alongside that as well. This circuit was designed by Herman Tilke as well, who designed a lot of the more modern Formula One circuits that there are out there. And this is a modern circuit opening in 2009 after 4 years of construction, and we're not going to get anywhere near the lap record that was run here in the Ginetta P2s back in 2016, a 1:43.6. We're looking at about 2:11s at a fastest, and Isaac Doble trying to break into the 2:10s at the moment, as he is on the 2:11 flat, 2:11.072 right now. So if he could get to a 2:10, that would be a significantly quick lap around here on one that will be extremely challenging to beat. I said we were going to talk about track limits. This circuit very conservative on dishing out track limits, and that being said as well, you've got 15 incident points in each race. You might as well use them. Drivers will be pushing out wide. However, drivers do need to rein themselves in at turn number 1 and turn number 12. They are 2 corners in which track limits are going to be monitored by the stewards and looked at post-race as well. So drivers just need to make sure that they are making the corners at those 2 heavy braking zones. Turn number 1 obviously being after start-finish straight, and turn number 12 is just before we head onto the back straight. It's the heavy braking zone going into the left-hander, and when we're running around in qualifying, you will be able to see that, that's for sure. However, drivers at the moment out there getting in practice laps, and like I said, it is looking good for Isaac Doble right now in the pro standings, as well as the overall, being the fastest man out there. It's taken Isaac a little bit of time to settle in comfortably. Of course, it took him until the 6th race of the season. That was in the 3rd race at round 2 of Brands Hatch before he finally took his first win. He certainly could have taken the win in race number 1 last week as well, but under the safety car, his screen turned off and he drove straight into the back of Clibbins, and it meant that he had to deal with that damage and came down pit lane to repair his car. He did come back though to win in race number 2, and what that did mean is that Isaac Doble, taking the pole last week, currently Sam Spinell is the only driver to have taken pole and converted that to a race 1 victory. He did that in his first week as a pro driver back at Zandvoort. It was his 2nd pole of the season, of course, his first pole being at Monza all the way back at the beginning of the season. So it is going to be interesting to see if a driver is able to place themselves on pole and convert it into a win in race number 1. That luck has not gone the way of the drivers really so far this season. Looking at the Pro-Ams though, it is Phil McDougall who is fastest in the Pro-Ams in this practice session right now, and he has taken 3 wins so far this season in class. He took 2 back at Zandvoort. He took another one in the opening race of the day at Long Beach, and he will be looking to try and take a 4th victory here today. No driver in either class has been able to take more than 3 victories so far this season. Of course, 12 races completed in the first 4 rounds. We got another 3 coming your way today. And whilst drivers are out there, actually, we will see if we can find a driver who is near the start of a lap and not sat down pit lane. In fact, Murray Adams here that we're riding on board with is coming to the end of his lap, fighting with one of his teammates here. As we'll look at a lap of this Aragon circuit, we'll also have a little bit of a look at where our track limits are going to be enforced by the stewards rather than the game, which doesn't really give you throwdowns for extending those track limits, but a little bit of a nudge here. And instead of heading straight on there where you can see the circuit continue up to that hairpin, we are going to cut to the left here in turn number 16. Get it about middle of the circuit here, and you want to then keep it going for turn number 17. If you can get it up to that curbing on the inside, that'd be a nice tight line, but then push it out wide. Okay, here we go. Turn number 1 then, it's across the timing line. Turn number 1 is the first of 2 locations that is going to be looked at for track limits. You don't want to be running wide here. You can push it wide. You can see there's a lot of tarmac out there, but you're going to keep it inside the track limits there. Now you can push it wide if you want to, but there is of course some gravel there, and we could see some side-by-side action here. You can push it off into that green tarmac zone that's on the left-hand side there. And again, pushing wide here, we might see some cars take to the tarmac to keep it side by side, but not abusing it too much as we head through turn 5 there. Quite a tricky left-hander. It's a long left-hander through turn 4 beforehand, and then getting it slowed down for turn 5. As you can see, drivers pushing it wide already here through turn number 7, and then the slowest section on the whole course is the 8, 9, 10 complex. This is the 8. Get it so tight down to the 9. Again, you can push it out wide there, which I'm sure we'll see a lot of drivers do, and then into turn number 10 here and all the way through the left-hander. We're coming up now to turn number 12, and this to exit turn number 12 is the second location on the circuit that we are going to be looking at track limits. We're going to head on to the brakes here. You don't want to be running wide off the circuit here. You want to keep it within track limits and not run onto that tarmac, which you can see there is a lot of it out there, but you aren't going to be extending out there. You will be under investigation from the stewarding team if you do that. And then through turn 14 and then the left hand of turn 15 before we head back up towards the end of the lap of turn 16 and 17. It's only 16 and 17 if you go by the iRacing world of corners here. It is just turn 16 if you go by the official tracks website and information. However, that's turn 16. This is technically turn 17 at the very end, this kink to the left. And as you saw that time, Murray Adams did go all the way to the curbing on the inside line as we head to the last few minutes of the practice session there. That was a lap of the Motorland Aragon circuit. As I've been reading in some of the chats, it's sounding like we are in a bit of a Game of Thrones type of Lord of Ringsy world there with a Motorland Aragon. However, I hope I am not butchering even more pronunciations of circuit names in addition to all of the driver names that are heading out there. A nice full grid once again of over 20 drivers. It is going to be a competitive one, and it's evenly split once again between the pros and the pro-ams. Of course, the pro-ams, they take the points for the season based on their class results. The pro drivers take the results on the season based on their overall results. And apart from Andrew Pike right now, who is down in 15th, the top 11 are all pro drivers, and they are all ahead of the pro-am drivers. It is just Andrew Pike needing to find a little bit of time there, about 0.3 of a second, and he will find himself with the rest of the pros. In fact, the pros all within 1 second of each other, except for Pike right now, and then it's 1.5 seconds to pole from Phil McDougall, the fastest of the pro-am drivers. So actually, it does look like the classes are very evenly spread. Of course, more to talk about the weather coming up then. For the first time, I believe, this season, absolutely zero chance of rain expected across the whole evening, which means that we are seeing the sun out there. It is shining, it is bright, it is lovely, which is going to be great for all of our drivers as they head into the practice, into the qualifying sessions and the 3 races of the day. If you are new around here, you've not caught up with the 4 races so far, the 4 rounds that have taken part so far. You can catch up on all of the race replays on the NXTGEN YouTube channel, on the NXTGEN Facebook, and you can catch up with the extended highlights on the BeehiveBillBroadcasting YouTube channel as well, so you can catch up in whichever way that you want to. And if you're watching here live and you don't know how the format of this evening works, we start here in the practice session, then we'll be heading across to 15 minutes of open qualifying, where all drivers will be heading down onto track together. They'll be needing to use each other for tow without getting in each other's way and without getting any contact either, to getting yourself your best lap time possible. Race 1 will be about 15 minutes long, and that will be set by the qualifying session. Race number 2 will be the exact same length. They are lapped races that will equal about 15 minutes long. And we will see the top 15 reversed in race number 2 of the day, as long as the drivers are with no more than 1 lap down. And then race number 3 of the day, that'll be about 25 minutes, and it is a full reverse grid again, as long as drivers are no more than 1 lap down. We are heading across into qualifying then, and drivers will be heading out to put in the best lap time that they possibly can. Isaac Doble will be looking to go for back-to-back pole positions. He was the fastest in the practice session. He'll be looking to take another pole here. He took his first pole last week at Long Beach, and he managed to get a victory in race number 2, but the qualifiers really didn't actually help him in that aspect after having to go down pit lane for a safety car. Of course, last week we saw safety cars across the weekend, as we have seen frequently. We saw safety cars across the weekend at Monza, at Brands Hatch. We saw, I believe, I'm trying to remember now, I think we saw 1 safety car at Zandvoort in the final race of the day. And I think we saw only we saw 2 safety cars, I believe. No, we saw safety cars in all 3 races, didn't we? In Long Beach. So yeah, safety cars are a common scene in this series. As cars do come together, they need to get their broken machines back around the circuit and back down to pit lane to get them repaired. So it's not saying that the racing isn't good. The standards are low. It's showing how hard they are, and as expected, they all come towards the start of the race in this series. They don't come any really later. It's as all the cars are heading in a tight pack. It can just be one tiny little touch can send a car going the wrong direction, and it can get a lot of people involved in that. So we are watching Isaac Doble here. He's heading up towards the end of the lap as he comes to turn number 14. This right-hander gets a lot of sausage curve doing so into 15, and now up towards the end of the lap. And we are going to see if Isaac Doble can place his car onto provisional pole position. He was the fastest in practice. He took the pole last week. Sam Spinell is the only driver to have taken more than 1 pole this season. He took it at round number 1 at Monza. He took it at round number 3 at Zandvoort. When he did it at Monza, he was a Pro-Am driver. He did it again in Zandvoort as a pro driver. What is he going to be able to do? Good evening to everyone in chat, including John there over on Twitch, and Roger as well on YouTube, and to Angela as well joining Roger over on YouTube. Welcome in. And we're getting this qualifying session underway. In fact, let's ride on board with Isaac Doble here, Pro Championship leader. He is going to be wanting to place himself back on pole position for the second time this season and see what he can do with that going into the race. Like I said, Sam Spinell, the only driver so far to take 2 pole positions. He's also the only driver so far to convert a pole position into a race 1 victory. It's been a bit of interesting. I apologise for that, as I don't know why Meta decided to do a thing, but there you go. Yeah, it's a position that you don't always actually really want to be in, because starting in pole position has not given you the best start to your weekend. But can it do something here today? Can that luck change for Pro Championship leader Isaac Doble? Will it go Kieran Sharp's way? Sharp has found a significant amount of points at Long Beach and is now right behind Doble in the championship. So could there be a switch out front between the two of them, as keeping on the within the track limits here from Doble, not so much from who I believe is possibly it is Jamie Dory. You can tell by the albino gorilla. So Jamie Dory sitting ahead at the moment as well. But he is pushing those limits just a little bit much with his 4 wheels over the white lines on certain points. Doble here getting a good amount of tow, and this is why positioning yourself in a slipstream is really going to help. You're going to get pulled up significantly out of 15 and towards 16 here, and that gap between them actually just perfect for Isaac Doble, because he is not going to find anyone too close in front of him, and we'll see lap time starting to be placed on the board. Kieran Sharp is the fastest, but Doble goes almost a second quicker out front, and that's not what Kieran Sharp would have wanted, because Sharp wanting to beat Doble this weekend. Craig Twardock goes into second. Twardock started as a Pro-Am earlier this season. He got moved up into the pros at Zandvoort, yet to take a victory, but he is in third position right now in this session. Some Pro-Ams take the line as well. Nigel Stock and Matthew Cheverton breaking the beam as we head up towards turn number 1. Sam Spinell the fastest overall, but you saw he did back out when we went across to him. So he was leading the train of NXTGEN Racing drivers, and now he is at the back of that train. So he'll be hoping that he can do something with this lap and improve just a little bit. Murray Adams not getting the lap time he wanted either in the mix of the Pro-Am drivers in the middle of the field. 10 minutes are left on this clock. It's a 15-minute qualifying session, of course. Drivers pretty much getting out there and just running for the consistency of all of the laps. I cannot see Ben Oucher on track right now, and I cannot see Leslie Brazil on track right now. So they'll hopefully find their way onto the track before the end of the session and get at least one lap time in to see what they are running, as we continue to watch Sam Spinell here. Spinell 2 poles so far this season. He has taken 1 win in the Pro-Am category. He's taken 1 overall and Pro win. It was 2, but he was penalised in race number 3 of Zandvoort, so he lost that victory. But he is right now on the back of the 21 of Murray Adams, so we'll be getting that support. Murray Adams also getting the support from up ahead as well, as all of these drivers heading down now towards turn number 16 and 17. The double left-hander at the front of this train is Adam Delmont, who is challenging also for the Pro Championship right now. Lee Horn has found himself in second position, as a few position changes there as more lap times get placed on the board. How is Sam Spinell going to do through the final corner? Murray Adams is wide and in fact allows Spinell to get that perfect line up the inside as they swap over. What can this do to Sam Spinell's time? What will it do to Murray Adams' time as well? Spinell goes second fastest. Murray Adams does not improve on that lap, but Spinell finds a huge amount of time there. Kieran Sharp will be looking for time as well. Sharp looking to beat Isaac Doble in the points haul again today, and that points haul is going to be important as we are now in the back half of the season, and therefore with 4 rounds completed, 4 rounds to go, their drivers are now thinking about those championship results as well, not just the individual races. Of course, with there being 4 rounds, we still do have another 12 races ahead of us, 3 races each round. as that's Ben Oucher around. He is on his outlap right now, and he has found out that the car does not like to stay facing the right way through turn number 12 when you are overdriving it, as Kieran Sharp heads now through the left-hander of turn 15 and up towards the end of the lap. Can Sharp find any time here? He is still sitting about a second off of Isaac Doble. He is getting a very distant tow there from Alan McCain, but it isn't going to be anything like the tow that the Next Gen boys were giving each other. Right, we go into turn number 16 now. Dab on the brakes there, running through the double left-hander. Much better than the hairpin, I think, and is going to invite some great racing, especially as we also head up towards turn number 1. Across the timing line goes Kieran Sharp. It is time found. It's about 0.3 of a second found, and he moves himself up past Craig Twardock, but he is still only in 5th position right now. Doble got a 1/10 of a second over Sam Spinell. We were saying during practice session, if Doble could get into the 2:10s, that would be an astonishing lap. He has been able to do that. Spinell has gone faster than Doble's practice lap. Well, practice fastest lap, but obviously a 2:10.907 from Isaac Doble is an incredibly quick lap time. This is Ben Oucher on his first time lap of the day. What can he do? Oucher has found his way up into a race win once this season. He managed to do that the second race of the day in Zandvoort. He didn't have the best of races elsewhere, and he has been caught up in a number of incidents, but he'll be hoping that he can find his way towards the front once more here today. And right now in the overall wins, there are only 3 drivers that have taken multiple wins. Adam Delmont has taken 3. Sorry, there's only 2 drivers that have taken multiple wins. Adam Delmont has taken 3 wins, Isaac Doble has taken 2, and Ben Oucher goes around. Not what he wanted out on his first time lap of the day, losing the rear end. It is very easy to do in these machines, as you see there, a little bit of a slide from Murray Adams, and he now has that is Adam Delmont going through and past there, so a little bit of a change. We also saw a driver going off through the exit of turn number 9 as well, so it is a fast-flowing circuit, but it can bite as well. Jamie Dory, slowest man out there, and that was Mikey Doble, who was around into the gravel through turn number 12. He finds his way back on. But Jamie Dory finally getting in a lap time in a number 13 machine. However, it is not a representative lap at all. You can see the train of drivers as different drivers are looking to help each other out. The teammates at the back there, Oucher getting a tow from Isaac Doble, Doble getting a tow from Dory, Dory getting a tow from Lee Horn here. Into turn number 16 and 17, Horn without the tow, but he is 3rd fastest in this session at the moment. Is this going to be an improvement on his very slow lap from Jamie Dory? We come up towards timing line with 3.5 minutes on the board. It's a 2:11.5. So yes, it is a massive improvement from Jamie Dory, but he finds himself 0.02 of a second behind Kieran Sharp. So still only 6th on the grid right now. You can see a couple of the pro drivers mixed in there with the Pro-Ams. Nick Clibbins gets his first lap time on the board. Michael Clough there looking to be the fastest Pro-Am driver in this session, the only Pro-Am driver within a second of the pole man. Phil McDougall, Pro-Am championship leader, sitting 2nd in class right now, 12th overall, as we're into the last 2.5 minutes on the clock here. We've got Matt Gatter out there as well, and Ben Oucher still looking to put in his first lap time of the day. Of course, he spun last lap whilst trying to put in a lap. We've also got Leslie Brazil out there as well, and a slight modification to Leslie Brazil's livery today, running a small teddy bear on the front of the car just above the wheel arches, and that is in memory of his friend's son who was lost on the 23rd. So my thoughts and prayers to him and his family, as he'll be showing off that livery around the Motorland Aragon circuit here tonight. Isaac Doble running the fastest out there at the moment. In the number 65 machine, a 210.907. He has got the toe from Jamie Dory ahead. Dory without the toe this time. And Lee Horn actually dropped to the back of this train. So it looked like these three are working together. Even though they are not all under the same team banner there, they are working together. Of course, a couple of next-gen machines and the sister teams, but none of the teams directly. Ben Oucher has found some friends out there in the next-gen boys as well. The 37 of Adam Delmont and the 21 of Murray Adams. He's found himself in the middle of that train, so we're hoping to use that to help out, and he pushes it very, very wide there. A little bit of a snap of oversteer through turn 16, and he loses time through turn 17, but will this be a valid lap? No, Ben Oucher finds his way down to pit lane with a minute left on the clock. We will not see a valid lap time from Ben Oucher. Leslie Brazil has just enough time here to get his machine around and across the line. So Brazil will be looking to find their way, well, with a lap time on the board will be the hope, as Ben Oucher will not get a lap time on the board. Brazil comes across the line. Spinell is also down pit lane, so will not be able to take his third pole of the season. Isaac Doble could be going for his second of the season and the first back-to-back pole positions that we have found. We are going to ride on board with Brazil here as we have 25 seconds left on the clock. Leslie Brazil getting that curving on the inside, trying to find how this car drives around this circuit. It is a weird circuit because you have really fast corners and then you have slow ones like this at turn 5 that just mean the rear of the car, it's never quite fully settled. You don't quite know what it wants to do, but we continue to head around. That will be the checkered flag in this qualifying session, as drivers will now be finishing the laps that they are on. Leslie Brazil will be wanting to finish the lap that he is on and get in his first timed lap of the day here in qualifying, even if it is not a fully representative one from the Pro-Am driver. But it does look, with a number of cars going down pit lane, that it is going to be back-to-back poles for Isaac Doble, which is the first time that's happened this season, and only the second driver to take more than one pole position, the other being Sam Spinell, who is the second fastest in this qualifying session. Spinell will be wanting to find his way to the front of the field and take his second victory. He crossed the line in the lead twice, but that second win at Zandvoort was taken off of him after some contact earlier on in the race with, well, Kieran Sharp, man who could be leaving the championship right now if it wasn't for that contact. Reaching the limiter of the machine there did Brazil, and we'll be heading now up towards turn number 16 and 17. The double left-hander here, the long turn of 16 into the final sharp apex of 17 and up towards now the timing line, and Leslie Brazil will be hoping to put a lap time on board. If he does, he will be ahead of Ben Oucher. It's a 2:18.0, so not a representative lap time, but enough to place himself ahead of Ben Oucher in this qualifying session, as drivers do finish off their laps. I think we've still got a couple more potentially out there. We've got Nigel Stock here coming around the final corner. That looks like it is Michael Clough just up ahead as well. It is. Will this be an improvement for either of these two drivers as they come across the line? And no, it won't. They'll both just finish the lap times that they are on, and that is all of them. No, here comes Matt Gatter. Gatter, the last driver who will place in a lap in this qualifying session, comes through turn number 16, through turn number 17, pushes wide though, hits the brakes, and will come down pit lane at the end of that one. So we will prepare ourselves for race number 1 of the day. 3 races coming your way, of course, today. So make sure you strap in, that you got yourself a nice drink ready, you got yourself your popcorn, and you are ready to strap in qualifying session here then over around the Motorland Aragon circuit, and it was Isaac Doble, the fastest of them all, with a 2:10.907 over a tenth clear, the only driver to break into 2:10s so far this weekend. No driver being able to do it in practice. Doble finding that time with some additional help. Of course, we saw most of the drivers out there using the toe to their advantage to get themselves pulled around, working as teams to move themselves up. Drivers then will get onto the grid in just a moment's time, and we will talk our way through the starting grid for the first race of the day. Let's get that up now for you. It will be 7 laps for race number 1 here, and it will be Isaac Doble who will lead us from that pole position spot for the second time this season and for the second time back to back here. Sam Spinell will be starting alongside him on second position. Lee Horn is in third position on the grid here with Adam Delmont in fourth. Kieran Sharp is in fifth position ahead of Jamie Dory. Murray Adams will start this one in 7th ahead of Craig Twardock. Then you've got Michael Clough, the fastest Pro-Am driver, in 9th ahead of Nick Clibbins. Adam Wilson-Weir will start this one in 11th ahead of Phil McDougall. Sam Smith will start in 13th ahead of Mikey Doble. Not a great qualifying there for Mikey Doble, might I say. Andrew Pike will be in 15th position. Matthew Severton will start from 16th ahead of Adrian Futch and Mark Sykes. Nigel Stock will start this one in 19th ahead of Mark Hughes. William Kirtler will start in 21st ahead of Carl Thompson. Matt Gatter in 23rd and Alan McCain in 24th position. Andy Outhouse will start in 25th ahead of Leslie Brazil. And Ben Oucher will be starting from 27th and last on the grid here today. We will be preparing ourselves then for the first race of the day, and like I said, it is going to be 7 laps of asking around the Motorland Aragon circuit here for race number 1, the same for race number 2, and if my maths can do me right here about now, I'm expecting it to be about 10 laps of asking for the final race of the day. But drivers there lined up on the grid and preparing to start for what will be about 15 minutes of racing, 7 laps on the clock. Isaac Doble on the left-hand side of your screen. He is on the outside up to turn number 1. It's not often that you see pole position being on the outside of a circuit. However, is the case here. It could give Sam Spinell an opportunity to the inside at turn number 1 if he can get a good launch, and the launch is going to matter for the drivers out there today as they will be trying to get through the first few corners. Remember, turn number 1 is one of the 2 corners that are going to be looked at for track limits, the other being turn number 12. So drivers will need to be keep themselves in a sensible position for those ones as we just prepare for this, as Murray Adams is last driver who will find his way onto the grid, and we'll see the lights start to tick up and they will get themselves launched up towards turn number 1 for the first time this evening. It is going to be an extremely close race, a very fast corner, some tight sections as well. I do think we're going to see a number of cars go around on the opening lap, but is it going to be on their lonesome? Is it going to involve any other drivers? How are people going to find their way through? Of course, some drivers, such as Mikey Doble, poor qualifying session for him, the second slowest of those that put in lap times, starting in 14th position in that pro class, well, in the overall, but second slowest in the pro class. He will be wanting to move his way up the order and find his way to the front. Isaac Doble will be hoping to match Adam Delmont for a 3rd victory this season, and if he's able to do it, it'll be only the 2nd time a driver has been able to convert pole into a race 1 victory. The other time that did that was Sam Spinell, and that's when Spinell did do his second took his 2nd pole position of the season. That's when he converted it into a race win in race number 1 of the day. So could Isaac Doble here convert his race number 1, his 2nd pole of the season into a race number 1 victory as well? We are still waiting on the grid here. This is an extremely long grid countdown this time. As there you go, we are finally ready, and the lights will be ticking up, and our drivers will prepare themselves up towards turn number 1. Doble from the left-hand side of our screens, as away we go. A big old swerve in the background there. As drivers head themselves up into turn number 1. Doble has had a great launch though and stays ahead of Sam Spinell. Lee Horn tucks into 3rd position as well, as most of the drivers now settling themselves in single file. It was side by side for Clibbins, he settles himself down, and now McDougall and Smith are fighting out for 2nd in class. McDougall on the outside, Smith's got that inside line, and Mikey Doble's just behind as well, wanting to get involved and find some positions here. Goes to the outside line of Phil McDougall, can't do anything. Is Andrew Pike going to find his way up the inside of Mikey Doble? He certainly is, and Pike is going to take 14th position in this one. Changes out front as Lee Horn and Adam Delmont are side by side. Horns to the inside line, Delmont pushes it wide, but it's going to be able to hold on that outside line. It is going to go into the turn 8-9 complex here. 8 is going to go on Lee Horn's inside, but it's going to swap across to a very long inside line for Delmont. That was slight contact as well, and that is going to invite Kieran Sharp into this one. Sharp to the left-hand side by side here with Lee Horn, and will make that move through momentarily for 4th. But will it stay that way up to turn number 12? Because here comes Jamie Dory. Jamie Dory backs out of it. Kieran Sharp is to the inside of Lee Horn. They are still side by side. Horn off the circuit ever so slightly, but will keep it in there now. To the inside through turn 13. It's still side by side in this fight for 4th position. Horn's got that move though just about done, but here comes Sharp once more at the inside. A huge amount of netcode there forces Lee Horn onto the gravel, as Jamie Dory is now side by side with Sharp. Horn falling down the order with that one, and around in the background goes Leslie Brazil. He will need to find his way facing the right way, as Jamie Dory and Kieran Sharp side by side behind as well. Sharp to the inside of Dory will make that move. Craig Twaddle gets up into 6th position. Murray Adams to 7th, and that is Nick Clibbins around through the final 2 turns and sends teammate Sam Smith into the barrier as well in avoidance, as we head up now towards turn number 1, and it is going to still be side by side up towards turn 1 for a number of positions, but it is Isaac Doble who leads the way out of the opening lap. Mikey Doble now looking to try and get past Phil McDougall and Lee Horn, who has dropped down to 10th position here, as Doble goes to the inside of McDougall. It is going to switch back across to the outside. He tried this last lap, but he's got much more overlap at it this time, and he's going to try and hang it along that outside line. Will switch across here to the inside now, and Doble has got that position and moves up into 11th, and Pike now trying to get up the inside of Phil McDougall, as well as the pro drivers looking to try and find the overall positions, which is how their points are distributed. The Pro-Am drivers taking it by their class results. Pike does make that move and takes 12th overall. Michael Croft is doing a great job in his Pro-Am driver Pro-Am car to hold on to 8th position overall right now, ahead of Adam Wilson, where Andy Outhouse has found himself facing the wrong way, almost collected there by Sam Smith, who goes around for a 2nd time and will get his car sorted back straight once more, as towards the front of the field once more. This is more to the midfield of the field. Mikey Doble here on the rear end of Lee Horn. Lee Horn will be hoping to keep it on the track this time. Obviously hit by netcode last time, and that is Kurtler, who spins and finds himself facing the wrong way, as Mikey Doble now side by side with Lee Horn takes that position, as Michael Clough is running extremely slowly. I think that is potentially a slowdown from Clough there, and he falls from a dominant lead in the Pro-Am class down to 4th position. It could have been Clough's first win of the season. It's now going like it could be McDougall's 4th win in class of the season, as McDougall is all over the rear end of Pike, Pike over the rear end of Horn over the rear end of Mikey Doble here, as we head up towards turn number 1 as Pike looked for just a moment up the inside of Lee Horn. Couldn't do anything with it there. Will have to stay behind at the moment. Adam Delmont, though, looking to get past Isaac Doble, who has lost the position. That was up towards the final turn when we were looking at Clough losing all of those positions. This is how Sam Spinale moved into the lead past Isaac Doble to the inside of turn number 16. Carried the speed with the slipstream, managed to make that move. Isaac Doble tapped on the brakes and tucked in behind. Will we see the positions out the front then changing around? Delmont is the man with the purple lap by his name at the moment, as we head through the exit of turn number 9 now, and the long left-hander of turn 10. They are going to be getting the toe, but up towards turn 12, unless you are significantly onside, is not going to be the overtaking opportunity. You're going to want to make that move into turn 16, like we saw Sam Spinale do last lap, as Doble is all over the rear here. Slightly different racing lines there. A little bit of a wobble from Adam Doble in third position, as that is Kieran Sharp chasing in from fourth as well. Sharp wants to beat Isaac Doble. They are the two closest in points in the championship fight. Adam Delmont's not too far behind. We're wanting to beat both of them if possible here. How is this going to go? Is this going to go Adam Delmont's way? Is this going to go Isaac Doble's way of moving back past Spinale as well? As we head up towards turn number 16, it looks like they are going to remain in single file order. Brakes there from Isaac Doble, and up the inside goes Adam Delmont, seeing that Doble was not going to go for the move into the lead of the race. Adam Delmont wants to take full advantage of that. They are now side by side as they head up towards turn number 1, with Doble stuck on the outside. Adam Delmont will have the inside line. They continue to bump doors there as Delmont goes for the break, and that was a big dive from behind from Kieran Sharp. Delmont also somehow goes into an overtake on Sam Spinale. Here comes Isaac Doble from behind as well. Spinale on the right-hand side of the circuit. Delmont under attack from Doble. Doble's going to move back into second, but they are going to run side by side, and Doble now on the outside up towards turn number 5, but that has somehow turned into a three-way fight. They were 3 wide for just a moment. Doble sensitively backs out of that one, but it's invited Kieran Sharp into this. Is it going to go back 3 wide? It certainly is. This time with Sharp. Sharp backs out of it. Could be under attack from Jamie Dorey as Doble's up the inside of Delmont. It's a wobble. Could have ended with contact, but they all keep it facing the right way. Kieran Sharp now moves back through as Isaac Doble has to lose a little bit of speed there with the wobble, and Kieran Sharp moves onto the podium, gets past championship rival Isaac Doble. Doble's not going to take that line down though. Will move back up the inside at Kieran Sharp to move back into third position as they head up towards turn number 12 now. Isaac Doble is going to have the inside line. Kieran Sharp is going to be stuck on the outside line. If he can keep it there though, it will turn in his favour. Spinale and Delmont side by side as well, as Delmont takes the lead ahead of Spinale. So Adam Delmont now leading this way as it remains side by side behind. Doble holds on to the podium. Jamie Dorey trying to get involved in this one. Dorey now to the outside of Kieran Sharp. Sharp not able to carry the speed that he would have hoped for because he was running side by side. Moves down to 5th. By Twardock also gets the position and stays ahead of Murray Adams just behind as well. But it is now Adam Delmont leading the way here as we head up to the 5th lap of asking, as that is going to be Adam Wilson-Weir looking to the inside of Murray Adams here into turn number 16 to try and take 7th position. It is side by side, and Wilson-Weir takes 7th position here in the race as we go on to the 5th lap of asking. And again another move here, and this time from Kieran Sharp looking to move back up the order to the inside of Jamie Dorey. It remains side by side. Dorey just about keeps it there and will get that position. And now Sharp under attack here from Craig Twardock. Twardock to the inside, looking to take the top 5 position away. Twardock couldn't carry the speed there, and here comes Adam Wilson-Weir now. Wilson-Weir to the inside, carrying a huge amount of speed there. Murray Adams also carrying speed, gets the inside of Craig Twardock. Twardock down to 8th position now and has to settle in line just ahead of Mikey Doble. Isaac Doble in 3rd position has got back to the bumper of Sam Spinell here, looking to try and take 2nd. In fact, he goes towards the inside. It'll be the inside of turn number 8, but he backs out of it, doesn't want to be sat there. It'll be the outside line on the next corner. Of course, a big side there from behind from Adam Wilson-Weir. Could have Murray Adams look up the inside. Adams stuck his nose in. Wilson-Weir closed the door just quick enough that Adams had to slam on the brakes, and it's invited Craig Twardock back up the inside of Murray Adams. A little bit of a nudge there forces Adams off the circuit. He gets back on though. He's not going to be too happy with Twardock's move there, and he is going to look back towards the inside still with Mikey Doble behind, now in 9th position, so slowly moving up the order, but we'll be wanting to move up a little bit quicker with this as we head up towards the penultimate lap of asking already. This is Isaac Doble on the rear end of Sam Spinell and Adam Delmont once more. It's Jamie Dory and Kieran Sharp chasing behind, but you couldn't really limit this to the top 5 in this fight. This train goes all the way down to 12th position, with not any more of them being more than just a 7/10. I think is the biggest gap there, and that's Adam Wilson-Weir ahead. But it does look like I was about to say it looked like there was going to be a move behind. It certainly was an attempt to move ahead. Sam Spinell looked to the inside of Adam Delmont there. Isaac Doble also looked to the inside. Doble could have the speed here on the exit on the teammates up ahead as we head now towards the timing line. Doble is going to move to that inside line, so is Spinell, and we are going to get 3 wide up towards turn number 1. Doble tries to get back to the racing line. It is contact between Doble and Spinell. Delmont carries it around the outside. Spinell's going to hold it, and here comes Jamie Dory to get to the inside of Isaac Doble and to possibly look up the inside of Sam Spinell as well. He gets the curbing, forces Spinell slightly wide, as he hit that inside sausage curb, and now Dory is stuck on the wider line with Isaac Doble up the inside. There's a little bit of a nudge there, and Dory now going to be under attack once more from Kieran Sharp. Sharp able to carry that speed on the outside, as that was Mikey Doble and Craig Twardock going side by side behind Jamie Dory to the inside, and will hold on ahead of Kieran Sharp for the time being. Sam Spinell goes extremely defensive here on Isaac Doble, as side by side once more as Jamie Dory holds on to 4th ahead of Kieran Sharp, and Sam Spinell now 7/10 of a second behind Adam Delmont. Delmont looking for his 4th win this season. He's already got the most wins this season, and he's looking to extend that at the front right now. All the way at the back of this field is now down to 12th position of Matthew Cheverton, who is leading the Pro-Am field. He is at the back of this train. We're hoping not to get caught up in any of it. Mikey Doble looking to try and get 7th position on Craig Twardock if possible here, as we head through turns number 14 into the left-hand of 15. It's side by side behind, and it is an overtake for Isaac Doble because Spinell has gone around. What has happened to Sam Spinell there? And it looks like he's got caught up with Michael Clough as well in that one. Clough was inside that top 3 once more. It's a slide. Is it contact? It is contact with Isaac Doble, who went to the inside of Spinell, and Spinell's gone around in that one. And here comes Michael Clough, and just ahead on there as Spinell just parked it in the middle of the circuit, and it was more contact from those behind as well. Not the best of rejoins from Spinell, as it's a fight for 2nd position. A huge fight behind as well. Delmont pulls away in the lead, but Isaac Doble does hold on to 2nd. Jamie Dory into 3rd, but it is 2 by 2 behind here in the battle for 4th. Craig Twardock comes out on top of that one. Kieran Sharp in 5th. Mikey Doble's got to the inside of Adam Wilson-Weir, who's fallen down to 7th. Murray Adams now could try and follow Mikey Doble on that inside. Doble also getting side by side with Kieran Sharp now. Once again, Michael Doble stuck to the outside. It was about to be 3 wide. They settled themselves down. Doble here under attack now from Murray Adams, who dives to the inside and makes that move. Remember, it'll be the top 15 reverse. These drivers fighting for positions right now. The higher up they finish, the further down they'll start. Side by side behind as well as Kieran Sharp and Adam Wilson-Weir for a moment go side by side. It goes Kieran Sharp's way. Doble to the right hand side of the circuit, as that is Murray Adams now trying to get to the outside of Wilson-Weir. Will hold around the outside. It will switch across to the inside, and he'll be able to hold that line, as that is Lee Horn going to the inside of Mikey Doble behind. That is for 8th position, Lee Horn. Mikey Doble side by side right now as they hold it through and head up towards turn number 12 as Andrew Pike is just on the rear of this one, looking to see if he could possibly take advantage of anything that happens between Horn and Doble. Horn gets the inside of Doble. Doble on that wider line. He will switch across to his way, and here comes Pike to look up the inside of Lee Horn. Can't do anything. We'll have to stay in 10th position for now, but as we exit turn number 15, this is the train of drivers is separated into 2 trains at the front. It is being led by Delmont, Doble and Dory, and it will go the way of Adam Delmont in the pro and overall race win for the 4th time this season. He took the win at the final race of the day in Long Beach. He'll take the win here. And Sam Spinell will continue being the only driver who has been able to convert pole position into a race 1 victory. Isaac Doble, however, will come home to take 2nd ahead of Jamie Dory. Murray Adams will come home to hold on to 4th ahead of Kieran Sharp, Craig Twardock, Wilson Weir, Lee Horn, Andrew Pike, and Matthew Cheverton wins the Pro Anfield for the first time this season, just behind as well. Nick Clibbins will come across the line in 12th overall. Fritsch will take 2nd in class ahead of Alan McCain. William Kirtler will come across the line in 16th. Carl Thompson took home 15th. 17th goes the way of Ben Oucher, and major damage on Sam Spinell's machine, and he won't be included in the reversed grid either, which is a real shame. But Adam Delmont does win this one for a 4th time, and Matthew Cheverton does win the Pro-Am class for the first time this season as well. And it means that we have seen in the last 3 races 3 new winners in the Pro-Am field. We have not seen a new winner since race 1 at Long Beach, which was Kieran Sharp. That is that race over then. Let's have a look at the full race results here from the first race of the day around the Motorland Aragon circuit. Adam Delmont won that one ahead of Isaac Doble. Jamie Dory took home 3rd. Murray Adams held off the trainer drives behind to take home 4th, followed by Kieran Sharp and Craig Twardock. Adam Wilson-Weir took home 7th. Mikey Doble managed to recover 6 positions in that race, but just not enough to find himself in the fight for the podium. Lee Horn finished that one in 9th ahead of Andrew Pike. 11th position went the way of Matthew Cheverton. Nick Clibbins took home 12th, ahead of Adrian Fritsch and Alan McCain. Carl Thompson took home 15th and will take the pole in the next race. William Kirtler finished in that one in 16th position, ahead of Ben Oucher and Sam Spinell. Mark Sykes finished in 19th, ahead of Sam Smith. Matt Gatter finished in 21st position, ahead of Andy Outhouse. Mark Hughes finished in 23rd, ahead of Leslie Brazil. Phil McDougall finished in 25th, ahead of Michael Clough and Nigel Stock. That was the results here then for the first race of the day, and we will see if we are able to find anyone there to have a quick chat with here after that one. And let's have a look who is available to talk to, that we want to talk to, really. Come on, we know we need to talk to some drivers, and we will talk, in fact, to the man who managed to take 2nd in that race. It is Isaac Doble. It wasn't quite a conversion from the pole to the race win, but a massive fight at the front there.
No, it wasn't quite the win, but it was a great scrap out there at the front. We were gaining on the last lap, but weren't quite close enough to find an opportunity.
Through that race, it was battles, and that train for the lead went all the way down to 12th position for the majority of it. It got ruined a little bit when there was that slight bit of contact, of course, with Sam Spinell. Looking at the replay, it definitely looked like you had the inside line. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, well, all I know, he was defending for his life for his teammate up front, so I had to get by him as quickly as possible. So I had to look for a move. I went for somewhere a bit more unconventional, but I'll have to watch it back. If I'm up the inside, then I'm up the inside. So
And with that being said as well, Kieran Sharp is the driver who is closest to you in the pro standings at the moment. He finished that one in 5th, but he was on your tail. That spin actually caused him to fall down a couple of spots and come under attack, so it helped you out in that one. Adam Delmont, though, 4th win of the season. He's gaining back those points.
Yeah, I mean, Adam's a very quick driver. I wouldn't be surprised if he's very close in the championship come the last round, if not leading. But he should be probably in contention. It'll be a fun battle for the remainder of the season.
With that being said, then you'll be starting the next race in 14th with the reverse grid going into that. Do you feel like this is a circuit you're going to be able to find your way through? I mean, your brother managed to move from 14th to 8th position. It wasn't quite the charge through that he was probably hoping for. So from 14th on the grid on the next one.
Yeah, well, the toe is so big around here. I'm sure it won't be that hard to overtake. And the nature of the track being so wide, there'll be lots of opportunities to try and cut my way through the field, but just see how high up we can get to.
All right, good luck for the next race, Isaac, and seeing if you can find your way back up towards a podium.
Thank you.
It was Isaac Dober there finishing that one in 2nd position, and driver who we... someone who we don't talk to very often because his results have not been as strong as they have been today. 3rd position in that one from Jamie Dory, taking full advantage of the fighting going on ahead, but 12 cars in that fight for the lead for most of that race. What a race that was.
Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it? I was kind of just debating when and if and what to do when they were all battling. Obviously, you know, I'm still racing with broken hands, so I don't really want to get too involved in side-to-side contact, really.
With that being said then, so you started further up the order here today in race number 1, but race number 2, you'll be starting from 13th position. Broken hand, as you said. Are you hoping to move back through the field? It is going to be a hard one. Isaac said that the slipstream should help out, but Mikey Doble wasn't able to move up too many positions in that one.
No, I think, truth be told, me and Isaac have, I don't know if you've noticed it today, have made a bit of an allegiance against Mikey and Adam Delmont and Kieran Sharp, our championship contenders. So, yeah, me and Isaac are kind of trying to work together quite well to try and move up in the points. So we've got an allegiance for this race at least. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, let's see how that goes in race number 2 then. You'll be starting together, obviously, on the grid. So good luck, and let's see how far you can move up the order.
Cheers, bud.
That was Jamie Dory there, finishing that one in 3rd position, and doing quite well in that. We'll see if one more driver is available to talk as we head into the 2nd race of the day. It'll be the driver who managed to start strong, fell down the order, got back into the podium in class, and then got caught up with the spin from Sam Spinell. Are you there, Michael?
Yeah, I am. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. It feels like you're not doing as well. As said, it was a really strong start. First of all, talk us through what happened. You were leading the race, and suddenly you were falling down the order.
I was leading the race. Was I leading the race? I don't think I was leading.
In class.
Oh, in class. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I qualified quite well, but I've raced this track on race room in touring cars before, so it was. I knew my way around it. So I was quite happy with the pace in qualifying, and I had a distant toe, which helped. And then, yeah, started off quite well, but then dropped it about halfway around the lap and fell down to the position I was in. And then just sort of was holding ground in around 13th. And I was thinking, do you know what? I'm not catching the group in front because they're in a train. But I'm gapping the person behind. I'm all right with this because it'll set me up nicely for race 2. And then I come round the chicane at the top of the hill, and Sam had just had his accident and was rejoining and couldn't avoid him really. And then yeah, just got caught up in another pack and some more carnage at turn 1 after that too. So it is what it is. It's racing, isn't it?
It is certainly. And race number 2 then coming up, you'll be starting from the back of the field. But we saw in that one, it is going to be really close action. A lot of trains going out there, avoiding the incidents. Do you feel like you're going to be able to make your way back through the order?
I'll do what I can, but you know, like I think if you get a break in the train, making up that ground, then you're relying on incidents further on up the grid, because you can't really close it down once there's a good train going in front and you're falling off the back of it. So, you know, hopefully we'll stick together for a bit and I'll make my way through my best I can. But yeah, we'll just really sort of looking forward to race 3 now and just do what I can in race 2, damage control.
Right. Well, good luck for race number 2 then, Michael, and we'll see how you're able to pull up from 27th.
Nice one, thank you.
That was Michael Crawford, who started first in the Pro-Ams, as said, a couple of issues in that one. We will be back then for the second race of the day very, very shortly. So don't go anywhere, and we will find you on the grid for race number 2. So make sure you grab your drinks, grab your popcorn, and be back in about 5 minutes' time. and welcome back here from the Motorland Aragon circuit for race number 2. It is going to be the top 15 of race number 1 reversed here for another 7 laps of racing action. It was extremely tight throughout that race with a number of close battles going on, and I could hardly keep up with all of the side-by-side action. I hope that you could at home. And with race number 2 about to begin, it is going to be even crazier because we are going to see some Pro-Am drivers starting at the very front of the field and our pro drivers needing to make their way through from behind. So as the warm-up session here comes to a close, the drivers will start to grid themselves up and we will prepare for the race by talking you through the grid of race number 2. Like I said, it is the results of race number 1, but the top 15 have been reversed. So as we tick across into the race session, we are able to get the grid up here for you. It is going to be Carl Thompson, who finished the previous race in 15th position overall. He is going to start this one from pole. He will start ahead of Alan McCain. Adrian Futch will start in 3rd ahead of Nick Clibbins. Matthew Cheverton will start in 5th, and Andrew Pike will be in 6th position for this one. Lee Horn will start in 7th ahead of Mikey Doble. Adam Wilson-Weir will start in 9th position ahead of Craig Twardock. Kieran Sharp will start in 11th, and Murray Adams in 12th place. Jamie Dory will start in 13th, Isaac Doble from 14th, and Adam Delmont in the reversed grid. The worst position you could be in for the reverse grid, 15th position here. Jamie Dory and Isaac Doble, though, as Dory was saying there, they've made a little bit of a pact. We'll see if that continues working into race number 2 and see if they can find their way through the field up towards the front with whilst they're helping out each other there. William Kirtler will start this one in 16th position ahead of Ben Oucher in 17th. Sam Spinell will start in 18th position ahead of Mark Sykes. Sam Smith from 20th. Matt Gatter will start in 21st position. Andy Outhouse from 22nd position. Mark Hughes will start in 23rd ahead of Leslie Brazil. Phil McDougall will start in 25th position. Not what the Pro-Am Championship leader needed from race number 1. It did not go his way. Nigel Zock in 26th and did not go Michael Crossway either. Will start this one from 27th position. We prepare ourselves for racing action then. Carl Thompson is going to be on the left-hand side of our TV screens here. It's going to be right-hand side and the outside line up towards turn number 1. Isaac Doble was able to get the launch and hold on to the lead going into turn number 1. Could Alan McCain here do something from that inside line, sitting directly ahead of teammate Nick Clibbins? McCain in the Pro-Am field, Clibbins in the Pro field. As drivers start to prepare themselves, we prepare ourselves here, and we will get our time on the our laps on the board, and it'll be 7 laps of asking here as the lights will be out in just a moment's time, and we are green and we are away, and it's not away from the lead, and everyone avoids somehow. As we go up towards turn number 1, nobody gets involved in that one, but Alan McCain takes the lead, and Nick Clibbins immediately moves into the lead of the race as McCain allows him through by the looks of it, as Pike now to the outside of Adrian Futch, and Alan McCain looking to try and take second in this race, but there's contact for Pike. He's off the circuit. Huge accident behind. We went without a safety car in the last race. Will we see one here? A huge accident there involving a number of drivers. Lee Hall, Matthew Cheverton, Kieran Sharp in that as well. Championship contender Andrew Pike and Mikey Doble fighting it out for second position in class 3rd position overall. Mikey Doble to the outside of Andrew Pike, and that is already Jamie Dory up into 5th position, moving into 4th position on this restart. Started 13th. Up to battling for the podium already. It's side by side. Craig Twardock to the inside of Adam Delmont behind. Sam Spinell on a recovery drive was not involved in the reverse grid. Up to 10th though, Isaac Doble not had the start that he would have wanted. He has been stuck in 13th position in this one as the drivers all get their way through at the moment as we head through turn number 12. It is going to be side by side between Adam Delmont and Craig Twardock. They fighting out for 8th position in the race as Phil McDougall has had a major incident as well and also finds himself with major damage on the opening lap of this race as right now the leading 3 drivers, Clibbins, McCain and Doble, Clibbins and McCain have found themselves very clearly the 2 teammates out in the lead. Mikey Doble here, massively under pressure from Andrew Pike and from Jamie Dory. Murray Adam goes to the inside of Jamie Dory there into turn number 16 as side by side with Adams on the inside, Dory on the outside as that was a slide in the background. And Ben Oucher has gone around. Sam Smith losing a little bit of time with that one as well as this continues to be fighting between Dory, Adams and Pike as that was Wilson Weir actually getting involved. Gets up the inside of Murray Adams and moves into 6th position in the race. And Nick Clibbins, though, doing a good job at the very front of the field as we're trying to get the timing screens up. There's contact there, and that's Adam Delmont, who spins and goes around, almost collected there, but avoided from drivers. And this is going Isaac Doble's way because both Kieran Sharp and Adam Delmont are now down the order. Isaac Doble up to 9th position, looking to try and get 8 past Sam Spinale right now. On the outside line, Spinale on the inside as it does remain green flag at the moment. Craig Twardock behind this battle, but Doble to the inside of Sam Spinale is going to be stuck on the outer line. Twardock can take full advantage of that, tucks up the inside after a little bit of contact between Doble and Spinale, and Twardock now gets past Isaac Doble. Doble down to 10th. Twardock has that inside line, forces Isaac Doble to take the wide line all the way around at the moment and heading up towards the braking zone of turn 12. Doble is on the outside of Twardock still and is hoping to keep his car there. There's just about enough room for him behind Spinale there, and Isaac Doble holds on to 9th position ahead of Craig Twardock as they now head through turn number 14. It will stop into 15 and Doble is on the outside of Spinale and there's contact. What was that? From Spinale. That almost looked intentional as a retaliation from race number 1. Don't quote me on that until we see a replay, but that looked almost intentional to try to do to Doble what Doble did to Spinale in race 1, but it didn't go Spinale's way. And Isaac Doble now was getting a race that he wanted, and all of the pro drivers at the top of the championship found themselves towards the back of this field. Pike is right behind Doble here, and Jamie Dory getting involved up the inside as well as Pike moves to try and hold on to 2nd position. Doble on the outside, though, will carry that through. Nick Clibbins it still leads the way at the moment as these drivers all find themselves through as Murray Adams behind Adam Wilson Weir there. We're going to have a quick another look at this incident. And he straightens his wheel, doesn't he? He straightens his wheel up midway through that one. That 100% was an intentional wreck there, which is going to be incredibly frowned upon by the stewards after that one, as this is going to be Adam Wilson Weir behind Jamie Dory now, as well as Murray Adams moves to try and follow Dory through. Dory actually not carrying the speed on that inside. A huge amount of curbing there. Wilson Weir going for an alternate line, and it opens the door for Murray Adams, and Murray Adams makes that move through nice and cleanly as Pike on the rear end of Mikey Doble once more. Nick Clibbins here looking for his 2nd win of the season. If Clibbins takes a win here, in fact, if any of the drivers apart from Pike inside our top 4 there take a win, it will still be without a new winner since the first race at Long Beach, as that was Adam Wilson Weir who went around in the background, and now Pike and Dory are side by side. Dory gets the inside of Pike. Pike's going to have the inside in the next corner, but Dory is going for that switchback to try and move to the left-hand part of the circuit as we head up towards the final corner. Spinale is with a meatball and out of this race. Ben Oucher with a meatball and out of this race as well. Side by side between Jamie Dory and Andrew Pike. As we head through the final turn, it looks like Spinell might have actually been involved in an accident with Ben Outria as Jamie Dory makes that move past Pike. Will take that position for now as we head up towards turn number 1. Will Pike be able to return that position here as we go up towards the braking zone for turn 1? Pike's to the inside of Jamie Dory. We have seen that outside line though working well if you can carry the speed, but Jamie Dory off the circuit there, won't be able to carry the speed, does tuck it up the inside though, finds just enough room to the inside of Andrew Pike there and will make that position as Murray Adams just behind trying to get involved as well. Jamie Dory is going to be stuck on the long way round here to try and get past Andrew Pike. He is not going to be able to make that just yet, and here comes Murray Adams. A little bit of a wobble there from Pike ahead. Murray Adams now side by side with Dory. Dory once again to the inside, but they settle themselves down. This is, it is an accident between Spinale and Outria. Spinale goes to the inside. It's that one is a racing accident between the two of them, but huge damage for both drivers on the left-hand side of the circuit in that one, which is a shame, but that one definitely looked like a racing accident. Right, Murray Adams then, still chasing down, could have Alan McCain there, who is leading the class behind. McCain took his first winning class at race number 3 last week in Long Beach. Can he find his second winning class? He's on for that right now. William Kurtler is a further 10 seconds back, I think. 4 seconds back. William Kurtler was 4 seconds back in that class, so isn't going to be able to do anything as it looks like right now there's some more issues towards the back. Leslie Brazil, Nigel Stock have also gone around in that one, and that is off the circuit there. Nigel Stock and Carl Thompson actually were there, and then this is what happened to Leslie Brazil. As we go back live and we catch up what's happening up towards turn number 16. Jamie Dory to the inside of Andrew Pike to hold on that position. A little bit of a nudge there as Andrew Pike goes really wide. Murray Adams gets that position. Alan McCain could also get his wheel in here and get involved in this one to the inside up towards the timing line as we now head towards turn number 1. Alan McCain could possibly be here up the inside of Andrew Pike, and Sam Spinell has received a penalty. That is for exceeding the instant count, so we'll have to visit pit lane to serve that one. And in a 7-lap race, that is a high instant cap to reach, as Adam Wilson-Weir and Andy Outhouse swap overall positions for 15th and 16th right now. This continues to be a big fight going on, but Michael Clough started this race in 27th position, had to recover. He is up to 10th position right now, 4th in class. He said that he's done a lot of this circuit on race room. He knows the track, he's quick here. He was the fastest of the Pro-Am drivers, and he is right now showing that pace. He's got into the top 10, could get onto the podium if he can get past Mark Hughes, who is the number 495 that is sat straight in front of him. So he could find his way into a class podium here, and that would be great if we can catch him into the commentary box once more after the way that it went for him in race number 1. It's gone the complete other way at the moment. Back up though towards this fight that is going on, and Murray Adams has found his way past Andrew Pike, so they have swapped around, and now Pike, obviously that was through the final turn last lap, and now Pike is going to need to try and close on through and get through as we head up towards the penultimate lap of asking. He is at the back of the chain, so we now no longer needs to worry about any cars behind him, as Mark Clough is side by side with Michael Clough side by side, sorry, Mark Hughes, and Mark Hughes is going to come back on, and a huge hit onto Adam Dalmont, who was recovering from an issue anyway. And it looks like Dalmont's day is done here in race number 2. Yeah, he's trying to get that car moving, but there is major issues for him. Fritsch now looks the inside of Michael Clough, but Clough is up onto a class podium now after that one, it looked like it was just wide there that was going on in that initial incident, and it just didn't go the way that, in the end, that Adam Delmont would have hoped for it to go. As Fritsch to the inside of Clough and will try to take that podium away in Class 4 now. Clough allows that to happen as we go on to the penultimate lap of asking. Back up to the fight for second position. Mikey Doble continues his way. Nick Clibbens has got 3 seconds over this fight for second. He is just pulling away right now. Jamie Dory is third overall, second in this train. Following him is Murray Adams and Andrew Pike at the rear of it, all wanting to get the best result possible. But Nick Clibbens, if he can just keep it together here, will take his second win of the season after taking his first all the way back in round 2 at race number 2 in that one that he managed to win in the wet. When he went onto the wet tyres, when it was a dry race to start with, it went his way. This time, it's not the tyre strategy that has gone his way. It is simply the speed that he's had, the instance behind, and he has benefited fully from that as this train of drivers for second position continues to run around. Adrian Fritsch and Michael Clough have swapped positions once more, and Michael Clough back onto a class podium as it stands, as we now ride on board with Andrew Pike. Pike is chasing down Murray Adams, Jamie Dory and Mikey Doble. We head up towards the last lap of asking here. Doble has managed to stay at the front of this train without really getting attacked too much. He'll be hoping to do the same onto the last lap of the race as well. As Adam Wilson-Weir, Carl Thompson, they all make their way past Nigel Stock, who has had some sort of issue behind and finds himself running slowly. Adam Delmont returns to the circuit as well, as that was Adam Wilson-Weir who was off as well, as this is side by side between Murray Adams and Jamie Dory. Murray Adams has gone to the inside of Jamie Dory. It is going to be side by side here. This is going to help Mikey Doble as we go on to the white flag lap, because Doble is not going to be under attack if the drivers behind are side by side, and Andrew Pike is deciding which way to go. He stays behind for now. Jamie Dory tries to hang it around the outside, runs off the circuit though, sneaks in through the next turn of turn number 2 up towards turn number 3. He's solidified his position alongside. They're going to run side by side, bumping over that social curb. Is he going to be stuck on the outside once more? He certainly is, because here comes Andrew Pike to the inside. Pike looking to try and take 4th position in this race. It is contact with Dory. Dory's going to get that inside line though through the next turn, and it is going to help him out up towards the turn 8 corner. In fact, he's already made that position through, but it could be a switchback on the exit because Dory has one wide and Andrew Pike could carry the speed now. It's going to be the inside into turn number 8, and he's done for a very late dive to try and get the overlap into the left-hander. It's not gone his way. Jamie Dory will hold that position for now in 4th, as Sam Smith and Matt Gatter are fighting it out for 18th and 19th position behind as well. They are side by side, but it does go the way of Matt Gatter for now, as Cheverton has gone around, almost collected by Adam Wilson-Weir, but not quite, and will avoid that one as we return back to this fight going on for second position at the moment. Mikey Doble could be under attack from Murray Adams up towards the final turn. Adams has no one to think about behind because Dory and Pike are fighting it out. Pike goes back to the inside of Dory. Dory's going to get the inside line as we switch over, but Pike is going to be able to do that switch back across, which we saw Jamie Dory doing earlier in the race. It is now side by side in the battle for 4th position as we come up towards the final left-hander, the 16-17. There's a little bit of a nudge between the two of them. A wobble from Andrew Pike. Jamie Dory's going to have the speed here, but Pike is going to have that inside line up towards turn number 16. Jamie Dory hangs it out wide, looking to try and get the speed on the exit. Is it going to go his way? It's going to be a sprint race to the line. Nick Clibbens wins out of Mikey Doble. Murray Adams takes 3rd, and Jamie Dory takes home 4th position, less than half a tenth ahead of Andrew Pike. Craig Twardock crosses the line behind. It is going to be also a train of drivers behind, side by side across the line. Lee Horn takes 10th ahead of Michael Clough takes 10th ahead of Lee Horn in 11th, Adrian Fish in 12th. But Michael Clough goes from 27th to 10th in that race to finish 3rd in class. A great result at the end of that one as all the other drivers come to cross the line. But it was a win for Nick Clibbins, who wins for the 2nd time this season. It is another race 2 victory for him. The last time he saw the victory spots was back at Brands Hatch round number 2, so he'll be happy with another win on top of that one. But we are just going to cast our mind's eye back just once more on the early door contact for Isaac Doble, of course, with the contact that happened there, and see if we can find that one. As I scroll through with Sam Spinell, let's see if we can get a little bit further behind. We're going to ride on board if we possibly can. This is on board Sam Spinell. He's got the inside. He's turning left, and straightens up. He completely straightens up in that one. Sam Spinell obviously not happy with how it went in race number 1, being spun around by Isaac Doble. Decides to do something about that, but like I say, that will be a dim view from race stewards with intentional contact like that. However, let's have a look then at the race results at the end of the 2nd of 3 races today. Nick Clibbins wins for the 2nd time this season, with Mikey Doble taking home 2nd, just ahead of Murray Adams. Jamie Dorey to the line beat Andrew Pike to 4th, and Craig Twardock took home 6th. Alan McCain took home the win in the Pro-Am class, and that is only his 2nd win of the season. He managed to find his 1st win at the final race of the day at Long Beach, so he's put himself back to the top. William Kurtler took home 2nd in that one in class, and Kieran Sharpie finished 9th overall, and Michael Clough moved from 27th position in the race up to 10th and 3rd in class. We will see if we can have another word with him at the end of this one. Lee Horn finished that one in 11th, ahead of Adrian Fritsch. Carl Thompson came home in 13th, and Nigel Stock and Andy Outhouse. Adam Wilson-Weir took home 16th, and Matt Gatter and Matthew Cheverton ahead of Sam Smith and Phil McDougall, rounding out the top 20. Isaac Doble caught up in that incident that we saw down in 21st position. Mark Hughes in 22nd, Mark Sykes in 23rd. Adam Delmont caught up in early lap incident as well, and then also caught up in a secondary incident that knocked him down to 24th. Ben Oucher down to 25th. Sam Spinell obviously getting caught up as well, 26th, and Leslie Brazil 2 laps down. However, Sam Spinell was still on the lead lap. He will take the pole position in the final race of the day with the reversed grid. Right, let's see who there is available to chat after that one. I can already see that there is definitely some conversation going on with race control, so there's something going on at the end of that one. However, we will see if we can have a word. We are going to pull him straight back into the commentary booth. We had a word with him after race 1, but we're going to have to catch up with Michael once more. Started 27th, managed to finish top 10, and it is 3rd in class. What a recovery drive in race number 2.
Yeah, it was better than I was expecting, and probably slightly better than I was hoping for race 3. But, you know, you've got to just go with it, don't you? I'm not really sure how I ended up there, to be honest, because it didn't feel like I was overtaking too many people. So I didn't know if there was some chaos up ahead and people just had to tow to pits before I got there. But, yeah, it just happened.
Yeah, there certainly was a lot of chaos in front of you, a lot of incidents going on. However, I would say that there was also a lot of pace you were showing there. You were fighting hard with the drivers around you, and yeah, you found your way with a 3 wide across the line between yourself, Horn and Fritsch, of course, but you managed to take home the 3rd place in class. As you say, it's going to impact you now in race number 3. I believe you'll be starting at about 16th position, maybe 17th position, but you've already shown you can move up the order, so race number 3 surely should be doing the same.
Well, I'm 10 closer to P1, so if I finish 10th this time, you know, what does that say? Maybe P1 this time, eh?
Well, I was going to say, maybe we'll be pulling you in for our first Pro-Am winner in the overall race, yes?
No, we'll see what happens. You can't say anything, can you?
Well, really good recovery drive in that one, and hopefully we'll see you back up in that top 3 again in class for the final race of the day, Michael.
Thank you, appreciate it. Speak to you later, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully we will. Michael there, finishing 3rd in class, 10th overall in that one. It didn't quite go the way for some other drivers there, but I know that we can't quite catch all of them, unfortunately. I'm seeing one of the drivers it really didn't go the way for is a man that was hoping for probably a little bit better than it's been going this weekend. It's not going your way, Ben.
Yeah. I was late turning up. Jumped in the car halfway through quali, and I've just been slowly finding the pace from there. I was hoping for a bit of race 2, but yeah, slight mistake between myself and is it Sam?
Yeah.
Sam, I think it was. And he clipped my rear quarter as we came off the fast left-hander, and that put us both in the wall, unfortunately.
Yeah, we caught that one on the broadcast. It was a very heavy hit. You got back out there though, which does mean on the reverse grid you should be taking 2nd position. Do you feel like you've got some more pace as the evening's gone on, that you should be able to hold yourself up there?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've managed to find the pace in the last 2 races. I mean, I'd be surprised if I hadn't, to be honest. Usually, I'm pretty quick at picking up a track in a car, but we'll see how this goes. I'm not too worried. I'd like to have a good race, and that's as far as my worries go. As long as I get somebody to race well with, I'm happy.
We have not seen a new race winner since Long Beach race number 1, so 5 races now. So being up there at the front, it's the statistics are going your way right now. You could be up there for a 2nd win of the season.
Well, that would be nice. There's a lot of solid competition though, so.
There certainly is. It is going to be a tricky one, but good luck for the final race of the day, Ben.
Thank you very much.
That was Ben Outria there. Finishing that race in 25th position. Like I said, it should give him 2nd on the reverse grid for that pole. That being said, though, we are going to end our race number 2 here, and we will begin race number 3 in just a moment's time. So get the refills of your drinks, get the refills of your popcorn, and we will be back in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. welcome back to the final race of the day here at the Motorland Aragon. And as the evening has progressed, we are finally putting a culprit to all of the incidents that have been occurring over the evening, and that culprit is going to come down to Zara McGuinness's cat. Zara McGuinness not racing this week, however, watching on the broadcast. So thank you so much for joining in and tuning in this evening. But can you please keep your cat away for race number 3 so that we can have a bit more of an incident-free session on that one. However, we are going to prepare ourselves then for the final race of the day, and we are going to have our grid set for that one. And it looks like there has been an altercation to the grid. It is not showing as I expected it would with the reverse grids. It looks like some potential grid penalties going into this one. No, this is a very interesting grid. I don't know what is going on with the grid here. However, the grid is not as expected. This is almost a random grid for this race, which I cannot actually show you the grid for this race as I'm trying to. My grid is showing here. In fact, there we go. My grid here is showing completely incorrectly as drivers hop off the track. It looks like we are actually going to get the grid resorted, and I think we are going to try this one again as drivers come off of the grid. I do believe that we are going to be trying this one again with the grid setup, because that grid setup certainly looked a little bit incorrect, as I was saying there, because it showed Andrew Pike being on pole position and Michael Croft being down in 27th. If I'm not mistaken, that is not the way the grid should go. So we are going to wait and find out what the grid is going to be like, and we are now this is interesting. This is finding out what is going on with the grid on race number 3, and I'm sure we will get an answer to that one. It's potentially that we may get a session restart here. I'm not 100% certain, but that being said, we are just waiting for things to be sorted out so that we can have a session. It looks like, yes, there is certainly an issue with a new session is going to be created. So we are going to step away for just one moment's time again, because we are going to get ourselves set up for a new session with a full reverse grid. This one is not showing as it should, so our drivers will just reset themselves and get themselves sorted once again in just a moment's time, and then we will head around for the final race of asking, which will be my prediction of 10 laps was close, wasn't it? It's 12 laps that the next race is going to be. So we are going to have a new session set up in just a moment's time for our drivers to be able to get themselves into that full reverse grid. I thought that it was looking a little bit different to what it should be. So if you are watching here live, if you are watching over on the Facebook page, make sure that you hit that like button. Leave some comments as well. Talk to us in the chat, and make sure you share it with your friends and your family. Also, make sure that if you are watching over on the YouTube channel, that you've hit that like button so that you are showing your love for this broadcast and for the community, and that you have also subscribed to the channel as well. And if you're watching over on the Twitch channel, then make sure you hit that follow button as well. All of those channels, make sure that you hit those follows or those subscribe buttons so that you are notified when the leagues go live, so that you don't miss any of the future races as we come up towards the winter period here in, well, we're very much in the winter period now here from the NXTGEN League. So, of course, as we head into 2026, we'll have the next round of the touring cars. We'll have the GTs back again, and we'll have some new cars back out. Well, return to some old cars back out on the track again. We will be back then in a few moments' time, so don't go anywhere. We apologise for the issues in this server, and we will get race number 3 in just a few moments. So we'll be back in just a moment's time. And we are back, and this time we should be good to go for the third and final race of the evening. Do you know what? As we were sat there and I was loading into the session, I looked across at the loading, at the banner that we have for the start of this weekend, and I realised that Nick Clibbin's car is the car that is displayed there on the thumbnail for this week. So that has obviously come into Clibbin's favour as he took the win in race number 2. So maybe we need to have a little bit of a think there of who are we putting out onto the front of the thumbnails there, because it could go the way of those drivers. So Benji, if you're listening there, just have a think. Who do you want to win the championship? You might be having an influence at this one. But yeah, Nick Clibbins then taking that win in race number 2. Alan McCain taking the win in class there as well. Both drivers taking their second win in respective places in race number 2 there. So as I was saying to Ben Oucher as we were talking to him after race number 2, we've not actually seen a new race winner since Kieran Sharp won at Long Beach race number 1. Now that came after a string of new time winners. We go to round 2, Brands Hatch. Race 2, Nick Clibbins. Race 3, Isaac Doble. Zandvoort, race 1, Sam Spinale. Race 2, Ben Oucher. Race 3, Adam Wilson-Weir. Long Beach, race 1, Kieran Sharp, before we saw Isaac Doble win again. So we went a long streak of new time race winners, all one after the other. And now we are finding a dry spell for new drivers at the top. Of course, there are a few names in that pro category that could find themselves to the front of the grid for the first time. Murray Adams could win for the first time. Craig Twardock could win for the first time. Andrew Pike could win for the first time. Lee Horn could win for the first time. And a man in the top 5 in the championship, being outclassed in race wins by drivers below him in the championship, Jamie Dory. Could he take a win for the first time? But of course, he is going to find himself a fair way down the order for the reverse grid here, and will make it interesting for him for race number 3 if he is going to try and take that win. But before we wonder where they might finish, the first thing that we need to do is cover where will they start for the third and final race of the day, the longest race of the evening. We've had 2 quick 7-lapped races. We are coming up for a 12-lapped race now around the Motorland Aragon circuit. It is going to take approximately 25 minutes compared to the 15 that the first 2 did. So warm-up then coming to a close. All 27 drivers are back in the session, and we can finally get a look at the grid for the final race of the day. And it is going to be Sam Spinale starting from the front of the field. Spinale taking his first win at race number 1 in Zandvoort. Can he find his second win here today? He was penalised from his win at the 3rd race at Zandvoort, so he still only has 1 to his name. Ben Oucher will start this one in second. In this race, actually 14 laps now, not 12 laps. It has been increased to 14 instead of 12, so it looks like it's going to be about a half an hour race instead of 25 minutes. Adam Delmont is going to be starting this one in 3rd position. We'll be hoping for better in this final race of the day. Mark Sykes will start from 4th out of Mark Hughes, and Isaac Doble down in that second race of the day will start in 6th. 7th will go Phil McDougall's way. Not had a great weekend for the Pro-Am Championship leader. Sam Smith will start in 8th ahead of Matthew Cheverton and Matt Gatter. Adam Wilson-Weir will start this one in 11th ahead of Andy Outhouse. Nigel Stock will start in 13th. Carl Thompson in 14th position. Adrian Fitch will start in 15th ahead of Lee Horn. Michael Clough will start in 17th. He moved up a substantial 17 positions overall in race number 2. If he does the same here, he could win this one. Kieran Sharp will start in 18th position ahead of William Kurtler. Alan McCain will start in 20th ahead of Craig Twardock and Andrew Pike. Jamie Dory will start in 23rd position ahead of Murray Adams. Mikey Doble will start in 25th ahead of race 2 winner Nick Clibbins, and Leslie Brazil, the only man not included in the reverse grid here because he was 2 laps down at the end of race number 2. Final race of the day, though, and it is going to be Sam Spinell starting this one from the front of the grid. We'll have Ben Outra to the inside up towards turn number 1. Adam Delmont is sitting in 3rd position and will be trying to do something from there. 14 laps on the board, double the length of the previous 2 races here for the final race of the day. We are green here for race number 3 at Motorland Aragon. Sam Spinell gets a good launch as we head up towards turn number 1. They are going to settle themselves down single file at the front, but it is side by side between Mark Hughes and Isaac Doble. Doble makes that move up the inside for 5th, but will have Hughes stick to the inside now through turn number 2 and into turn number 3 as it goes mostly single file behind, a few side-by-side actions as they now head towards the first long left-hander. Get tricky braking zone here up towards turn number 5. It's a little bit of a slide there from McDougall behind, gets very close to the cars in front. They all managed to get through without incident, but a number of positions changing already early doors for our drivers as Andrew Pike looking to try and move up the order at the back as well. Adam Wilson-Weir getting past Mac Gatta as Phil McDougall and Matthew Shepperton get past Sam Smith, who runs wide off the circuit. Is at the moment Clemens remaining in 25th position, has not had the launch that we would have been hoping for, as Adrian Fritsch and Lee Horn are side by side. That's a huge amount of smoke and it is a huge accident. A number of cars involved in that one, more cars getting involved as there's quite a fair bit of damage, and another car around as well, as that's Andy Outhouse around. That's Michael Clough. We spoke to him after race 1 and race 2. Issues for him. Andy Outhouse has got broken suspension. Lee Horn now losing positions. Adrian Fitch flies through in towards the top 10. And Nigel Stock makes the way around the outside of Lee Horn. Lee Horn continuing to be under attack here. Jamie Dory has made his way up to 15th position, has been finding his way through the field quite well here today, as that's a more amount of smoke, and that is Nigel Stock now around as Adrian Fitch gains another position. Matt Gatta is also around and off the circuit as well, as we've got a number of meatball flags, and the safety car is going to be out at the end of this one. Sam Spinell is side by side Ben Oucher and Adam Delmont. They are racing to the line. Who is going to lead when we get the safety car here? Is it going to be Adam Delmont or Sam Spinell? Adam Delmont is going to lead. Isaac Doble will be in 3rd position under the safety car here. They are allowed to race to the line before they get through. In fact, Doble might have to drop down behind Oucher as the rest of the field all comes through. And what I thought could have potentially been an incident-free weekend from our safety car, we have got the safety car out here at the end of the opening lap. Like I said, a number of meatball flags. Adam Wilson-Weir, Sam Smith and Mark Hughes all with meatball flags. We saw Andy Outhouse with major issues as well. Michael Clough was caught up in some contact, finds himself in 22nd, racing side by side. They are racing here under the safety car. That is huge contact. Matt Gatta and Michael Clough, they are under the safety car at this point. They are under the safety car when that has happened. Then again, the stewards are going to take a very dim view of something like that occurring. The rules are simple. You can race up to the timing line. The timing line in iRacing will obviously then tell you what position you need to hold on to. The fact that they were still fighting after they came around is going to, again, take a bit of a dim view on that one. Right, let's have a catch up on what has happened on the opening lap of the race here, as we are now under safety car. It looks like, no, that is just what's going on the start. There were a lot of things going on the start. They just said, oh, these drivers may have crashed. No, they didn't. That was just them starting the race. Right, here's how this crash started at the end of turn 9. It's a spin, and to be fair, it doesn't look like that was brakes being held. Gets it across the side, and then he drives straight into another car. So that is a shame there. That was the contact with Mark Hughes. Sam Smith was involved in that one and was the car that was caught up and around, and then collected as well. That's already broken suspension on the rears. That additional damage out front didn't do much. This is Adam Wilson-Weir going straight into the stopped car there, so more issues. That one. Then we had this accident. Interesting. So that was the Mark Clough and Aldhouse issue that we saw. So it's on as they're all getting through. And that's just returned back to the circuit and moved all the way to the left instead of staying to the outside there. So that was an interesting move there. And then this is Nigel Stock. We saw this occurring, of course, a spin from Stock. And then we also saw Matt Gatter have an issue. What happened to... Oh, or did we? It says oh, one minute. That's because I clicked on Kieran Sharp. I wanted to... Oh, it's trying to click on replays as it's doing things. It's really hard. This is what happened to Matt Gatter. So we already saw... So Matt Gatter... Oh, that's how he appeared where he was. He spun. He saw a piece of tarmac and thought, yeah, this is it, right? And decided to do a bit of... Interesting line there for Matt Gatter, and... okay, interesting one after that one, but does get through. And then obviously we saw, well, this is Adam Wilson-Weir, has lost, well, got a lot of damage there, front bumper up. And then this is what we saw, just that accident again. I'm not sure whether this has, I don't know, this is across the line here. So Clough is ahead. Across the line, Clough has that position here. Therefore, Clough should be holding on to that race position over... who is that he's racing with? The 014 of Matt Gatter. And Gatter just races. So that position is Clough's. Clough's just doing the line because he's expecting to run. And for some reason, Matt Gatter has ignored the safety car. And has, well, that is a return to the track from Michael Clough. But yeah, that was ignoring the safety car there from Matt Gatter. I thought they may have been competing each other over the line. No, that was very clearly Michael Clough's position. And that's someone who either does not know the rules of the safety car or did not have the channel open and therefore did not hear that the safety car had been called. However, they were all told about that heading into the weekend, but make sure that you can hear the admin. So that is going to be safety car then, as the drivers are now on their second lap of the safety car. We should get restarted here as we'll finally get the timing tower up for you so you can see how the standings look as we are under the safety car and preparing to get ourselves restarted here onto the fourth lap of asking. Adam Delmont is the man at the front of the field ahead of Sam Spinell. Delmont looking for his 5th win this season. He took the his 4th win at the first race of asking today. Sam Spinell holds on to 2nd, Ben Oucher in 3rd, and Isaac Doble is up to 4th position, but Adam Delmont pulls away as we go into turn 16 and out of turn number 17 now, up towards the timing line. Delmont leads the way ahead of Sam Spinell. Isaac Doble already looking to the inside of Ben Oucher, can't pass before the timing line. However, Sam Spinell goes extremely defensive on Isaac Doble on that inside line. Spinell has something against Doble after their contact in race number 1, of course. Went extremely defensive there, and it has allowed Ben Oucher to hold on to 3rd position. However, Doble now can carry the speed around the outside of Oucher. There's going to be just enough room there, and Doble has got that position. Oucher swings to the right-hand side. Isaac Doble now, will he look to the inside of Sam Spinell as well? He stays behind for the moment. Matthew Cheverton moves past Mark Sykes for 2nd in class, but Phil McDougall, the Pro-Am leader, championship leader going into this weekend, is now leading the Pro-Am race at the moment as well, as we look back up ahead towards the front 4, because Isaac Doble is surely going to be wanting to make a move past Sam Spinell here. They run side by side into turn number 8. It will switch across for turn number 9. Doble will be stuck on that outside line. We'll be hoping for speed as Oucher tries to get the title line. Isaac Doble does remain there on the outside. Is Oucher going to push here He does follow to the wider line with Isaac Doble there. Sam Spinell has already gone defensive in the lead up towards turn number 12, but Isaac Doble is on the outside, and for the third time in 3 races, Sam Spinell and Isaac Doble go side by side, but it's a switchback from Isaac Doble. Sam Spinell goes deep, and Doble is now going to have the inside line up towards turn 15. Mark Sykes is penalised. There's contact as Spinell pushes Doble deep. Spinell holds that position. Doble down to third, but Spinell pushing Doble off the circuit with a little bit of contact there as we now head up towards turn number 16. That is Adrian Fitch all the way out of slipstream on the left-hand side. He's got McDougall and Shepperton ahead of him. He is looking for lead in class as once again goes for a move in second. Spinell's got the inside of Isaac Doble. Ben Oucher now getting involved and goes to the inside of Isaac Doble. Ben Oucher moves up into third, and this is allowing Adam Delmont to pull away very clearly. Into the pit lane comes Mark Sykes. Isaac Doble is getting pushed from Matthew Shepperton here to the outside. It goes 3 wide up towards turn number 1. They settle themselves down. Isaac Doble holds that outside, and Sam Spinell lets himself run wide. And again, it's contact between Doble and Spinell. Again, Spinell at fault for that contact, and he is going to be into a world of misery with the stewards at the end of this one. He drops down to 7th position, and for the second time in 2 races, Spinell takes out Isaac Doble, and for the third time in 3 races, the two come together. What is going on with Sam Spinell this evening, as he's now gone to the inside of Lee Horn, and he pushes Lee Horn off the circuit as well. But Mikey Doble is looking to get involved in this one. Doble now looks to the inside as he is chasing down behind Kieran Sharp. Sharp to the outside line, Doble to the inside of Kieran Sharp, and Mikey Doble moves up into 7th position. They sit behind Sam Spinell. Jamie Dory, Ben Oucher side by side here for 4th. Matthew Shepperton leads the Pro-Am class, 2nd overall in this race. Ben Oucher gets the position on Jamie Dory at the moment and will hold on to that position, but Dory's got the inside line and will try to push the speed that he can. Ben Oucher will be able to hold it on the outside, of course. He'll bring around in Oucher's favour right now, but as we head up towards turn number 15, it very much could go back Jamie Dory's way, and it will, as he holds it on the outside with a bit of a slide. Another bit of door banging there, and they continue to run side by side, Jamie Dory and Ben Oucher here for 4th and 5th position in this race. As I have a look here at positions behind as well, there are a number of fights going on, including between Craig Twardock and Murray Adams, but right now it is Ben Oucher on the outside of Jamie Dory into turn number 16. It's a hard line to run, that outside line. Jamie Dory able to carry more speed on the inside as they push up towards the timing line. Sam Spinell is chasing down just behind as well as we head up towards turn number 1. Spinell now to the inside of Jamie Dory to try and take 5th position. He certainly does so, doesn't give Dory a lot of room, but Dory does hold it on the outside line, and here comes Mikey Doble to follow Jamie Dory through as well. So Spinell tried to make the move past Dory. He is going to be under attack for Mikey Doble here as we now get up towards turn number 5. It's 4 here, onto 5. It's a tricky braking zone, but it is side by side between Mikey Doble and Sam Spinell. Doble on the outside, he'll turn to the inside line. That should go Mikey Doble's way, it certainly does, and Kieran Sharp now trying to get to the inside of Sam Spinell as well, as they're side by side, adding up now towards turn number 8. Adam Delmont has a 4-second advantage at the front of the field right now. Still side by side between Kieran Sharp and Sam Spinell. Sharp on the inside, it will switch across to the outside line. You can carry the speed though, and that's exactly what Sharp is going to try and do on Sam Spinell on that outside line here. We'll tuck in for now, however, we'll have to hold on. Isaac Doble is down pit lane with that meatball flag. So was Pro-Am leader Phil McDougall as well, who was caught up in that contact with Isaac Doble that we saw. In fact, let's see if we're able to have a jump back through as we continue to watch all the battles going on. As in fact, I cannot find where that incident occurred. It does not come up for me, which is interesting. Normally I would get something up saying that there was an accident. However, it does not come up saying that there was any accident, which is a shame. In fact, it hasn't even come up saying that he's got a meatball flag, which is even more interesting. Here we go. We're going to see as a fight going on just up ahead. For now, it is going to be side by side between Futch and Dory. Futch is on the outside. Ben Oucher gets a slow run out that final turn as well. And Mikey Doble is able to follow Jamie Dory through. Jamie Dory and Mikey Doble recovering from starting towards the back of the field here, so they're doing a great job. But it is going to be 3 wide into turn 1. Mikey Doble clips the rear bumper of Jamie Dory. They're sideways through, and it is 5 wide on the exit of turn 1. The gaggle of cars try to get the way through as they all just get swallowed up with that little bit of contact there. Sam Spinell moves up to 4th position. Kieran Sharp up to 5th. Craig Twardock 6th. Jamie Dory side by side with Murray Adams. It remains side by side in this massive gaggle of cars right now as they run 2 by 2 by 2 out of turn 5 up towards turn 7 here, which is going to favour the inside line. And that is what's going to happen as they start to settle themselves back down once again. We head now up towards turn number 8 as Mikey Doble is up the inside of Andrew Pike. Pike will then switch across to get the inside line through turn number 9. They run side by side, a little bit of a door bang there as they exit as Pike holds that position over Mikey Doble at the moment. Doble slightly wider off of the circuit there, could invite Nick Clibbins in, and in fact it has invited Nick Clibbins in to try and take position away from Mikey Doble. Doble looking to carry that speed on the exit though, and runs slightly wide but does hold the position on Clibbins there, side by side, just up ahead as well as they try to sort themselves out. They all do go back single file apart from this fight. 200 and 113 of Sam Spinell and Kieran Sharp. It goes Sam Spinell's way. Jamie Dory though is now carrying speed to get through this one as well as we head up towards the final turn. Is it going to go 4 wide again? It looks like Sam Spinell is just able to hold at the front of this one, and it is going to go 3 wide behind. But Jamie Dory looking to go on the outside of Spinell here. It's Murray Adams to the inside, and it is Craig Twardock involved in that gaggle of next-gen cars as well. As we come up towards the line, it's going to remain 3 wide, although Twardock did want to make it 4 wide, and it is going to go 4 wide, but that is sensibly backing out of it. Murray Adams does not want any part of that. Sam Spinell and Craig Twardock now side by side out of turn 1. It's going to go Jamie Dory's way up the inside of Craig Twardock, and Mikey Doble is looking to get up through that as well, as we have had a few drivers down and out of this race. Mark Sykes, Sam Smith, Nigel Stock all out of this race before we have reached the halfway point. Talk about the halfway point, we actually did reach that just now as Mikey Doble holds on ahead of Craig Twardock at the moment and Andrew Pike, but Murray Adams now looking to the inside of Andrew Pike and makes that move stick, so we'll be able to hold on for those positions at the moment, as it is extremely tight in all of these positions that are currently ongoing. But as they come through into turn number 9, it's contact between the 2 teammates there, and a huge collection from Fritsch and another collection from Lee Horn as well. We have yet to see 2 safety cars in one race this season, and I'm hoping that we don't see it again. He is sat in pit lane nice and comfortably and happily right now, but meatball flag for Lee Horn takes him out of contention on this one. Talking about taking out of contention, this is what happened to Isaac Doble up towards turn number 1. It was once again contact with Sam Spinell. There was contact in race number 2 that took them both out. There was contact in race number 1 that took Spinell out. This was contact in race number 2. Doble on the outside, Spinell on the inside. And it again, it's just running wide and not accounting, and that was McDougall involved in that one. Just not accounting for the fact that Isaac Doble was there, and your idea as to why he did that can be your ideas. It will definitely be reviewed at the end of the evening, that's for sure, as Sam Spinell, Jamie Dory and Mikey Doble continue to fight here. Jamie Dory holds on now to 5th position, but does have Mikey Doble up the inside. Sam Spinell pushing Jamie Dory, moves to the left-hand side, contact with Mikey Doble, tried to make it 3 wide, continues to make it 3 wide, backs out of that one though, and allows Craig Twardock to hold the position, and now Murray Adams gets past Sam Spinell as well. Andrew Pike also gets through as well, and Sam Spinell down to 10th position here on the 9th lap of asking. Jamie Dory moves past Mikey Doble, who allows Craig Twardock through as well. Twardock to the inside, and here comes Murray Adams trying to get involved in that one. Sam Spinell and Andrew Pike now side by side just behind, as well as this fight is for 5th position. The lead currently going Adam Delmont's way. Matthew Cheverton looking for his 2nd win of the season in class. He's currently 2nd in this race. Adam Delmont looking for his 5th win of the season, and what would likely be the lead in the championship, with Isaac Doble's race evening not going the way that he hoped. Kieran Sharp, though, will be hoping to put a stop to that, as he's sitting in 3rd at the moment. As swapping positions, Ben Oucher is fighting along with Kieran Sharp as well, looking to try and take that 3rd position. But Mikey Doble now to the inside of Craig Twardock. Both of them have got past Jamie Dory. Doble gets deep there and gets that position through. Twardock has to allow him to gain that position, but Jamie Dory now under attack from Murray Adams. Adams to the inside of Dory as they head up towards turn number 14, and it's a side for Mikey Doble. They all hold it, but there's contact behind, and Sam Spinell finds himself facing the wrong way once again at turn 15 this time. Contact with Andrew Pike, but you couldn't blame either one of them for that contact. With a slide from Mikey Doble ahead, that was inevitably going to happen, and Sam Spinell has decided enough is enough. He is down and out of this race. Contact there between Murray Adams and Craig Twardock. Twardock slides, just avoiding contact with Jamie Dory. Murray Adams holds on to 5th now. Jamie Dory in 6th. Mikey Doble in 7th position. Craig Twardock behind in 8th. Murray Adams moves to the left-hand side, and Jamie Dory is going to get that speed there. In fact, Murray Adams backing out of that one. It looked like, no, he is not. He is going to hold the inside line, and here comes Mikey Doble to the inside of Jamie Dory. It turns into a move past Murray Adams as well, and Mikey Doble takes 2 for the price of 1. Moves up into 5th place now, ahead of Murray Adams, Jamie Dory, and Craig Twardock. Ben Oucher trying to get past Matthew Cheverton. Kieran Sharp has dispatched Matthew Cheverton. Oucher's going to want to try and make that move through, try to get the podium, try to potentially get 2nd place in this race over championship contender Kieran Sharp. We are heading up to 4 laps to go in this one, as the train behind continues to fight as well. And Nick Clibbins, winning race number 2, is looking to try and get past Andrew Pike as well. That will be for 11th in this race. It's then a bit of a gap to try to get into the top 10, but it's certainly not impossible with all the fighting that is going on up and down the field right now. Jamie Dory chasing down Murray Adams to try and regain into 6th. Mikey Doble has pulled up a small advantage out at the front of this one right now, as well as there is contact between Cheverton and Oucher as we catch the end of that one. And they head through turn number 13 into 14 with Oucher behind right now. We'll see if we can find what happened there between the two that are fighting for 3rd overall in this one. Oucher wanting to get past Cheverton so he can get into the fight with Kieran Sharp. Oucher moves to the inside. It's just a little bit extra speed, only minor amount of contact though, and they continue fighting. Cheverton stays ahead of Ben Oucher at the moment as we head up towards the final turn on the lap. Jamie Dory now looking to try and get past Murray Adams. He closed into less than a 10th for a second, but doesn't go for that move. We will tick on to the 11th lap of asking here. 4 more laps to go as we head up towards the timing line once again. It is Mikey Doble, a 10th for a second ahead of Murray Adams, ahead of Jamie Dory as they head up towards turn number 1. Ben Oucher as again fighting with Matthew Cheverton as they settle themselves down in that fight for 5th for the time being. as Oucher to the inside of Cheverton. Cheverton can fight as hard as he wants, but he will still take the points for winning in class. Ben Oucher currently taking the points for finishing 4th overall. He wants 3rd overall if possible, but Kieran Sharp has pulled a 2-second gap out front, and once again, Oucher's going to have to wait behind as this is side by side between Adams and Dory, and now Twadok is going to the inside of Dory as well. Dory stuck to the outside on the tight turn at number 7 and will fall down into P number 7. Will have to try and make that way back through if he's able to, as Nick Clibbins and Andrew Pike change positions, as that's a moment from Pike, and he actually sends himself around a slide and he finds just the edge of the gravel, but quickly recovers and gets himself back on, as that is an issue for Cheverton. What has happened here? Is it contact with Oucher? It is. Oucher looks to the inside of Cheverton and gives up a lot of time in that one as well, in what I believe was a beginning to be an attempt to try and give the position back to Cheverton. However, what that does mean is Sharp is now 7 seconds in the clear in second, and Mikey Doble is now leading the fight for 3rd position in this one instead, as we head up towards the final turns of the lap, and heading up towards lap number 12. Adam Delmont, though, is absolutely dominant at the front of this one, looking for his 5th win this season. Mark Hughes and Andy Outhouse run side by side, but Mark Hughes moves up into 15th position in that battle, as this continues to be what is now a battle for the podium, and Ben Oucher is in the mix in this one. He's sitting in 5th position. He's looking to get up the inside of Murray Adams up towards turn number 1. That will be a penalty for the man in 12th, Leslie Brazil. He was 4th in class. He will have to visit pit lane to serve that penalty for instant limits, and he very quickly finds his way down pit lane to serve that one and get that out of the way here, as we are on the 12th lap of asking, with just 3 more to go, including this one. William Kurtler looking to try and get past Carl Thompson as well in their fight for 2nd in class. Carl Thompson leads William Kurtler at the moment. Kurtler moves to the outside, will try to switch it across in towards turn number 5, but he backs out of that one, not wanting to make the risky move. He is currently holding that podium in class. However, Thompson does run off the circuit ever so slightly there. This could be a look to the inside of turn number 7 from William Kurtler. He stays behind at the moment. They have Nick Clibbins just behind. Clibbins will be wanting the overall positions, and even if he gets past them, they will still be fighting for the podium in the Pro-Am field, as the Pro-Am drivers take their class position for the points. The Pro drivers take their overall positions, and William Kurtler gets to the inside of Carl Thompson on the exit of turn number 10 here, and will move through to take 2nd in the Pro-Am class, with Matthew Cheverton 6.5 seconds up the road. Carl Thompson is going to fight this one out, tucks back up the inside for the braking zone of turn number 12, as Kurtler holds it around the outside, carries the speed and makes that through, as Clibbins also now trying to dispatch that position, as that is side-by-side action between Twadok and Oucher. Oucher loses down to 5th place, 6th place to 7th place even, as Jamie Dory gets the speed on the exit, and what was looking like a podium result for Ben Oucher has quickly fallen down the order after the contact with Cheverton. He is back with Cheverton though, who is behind. Cheverton is not going to make this easy for Oucher either, and will try to get involved in that fight as well after their contact. A little bit of a wobble from Oucher is going to invite Cheverton up the inside. Cheverton takes 7th overall, knocking Ben Oucher down to 18th place overall. 8th place overall. In fact, Cheverton looking like he might try and make the move past Jamie Dory here up towards turn number 1. That is a slower Twadok just up ahead, and Cheverton does it to the inside of Jamie Dory. It's not going to do anything in that fight though at the moment, as Clibbins has also dispatched Kurtler as well. It will continue to be a fight between Kurtler and Thompson. Adam Wilson-Weir moves past Andrew Pike here and will take that position, and will move into 12th position overall in this race, as Jamie Dory now under attack once more from Matthew Cheverton. Runs off the circuit but keeps the speed up, and it could potentially be a fight for the final 3rd podium position, 3rd position Mikey Doble is currently holding ahead of Murray Adams, but that could swap around. Next lap will be the last lap of this race as we come through up towards turn number 9 into, turn number 8 into turn number 9, this left-hander here. And right now, Mikey Doble is leading ahead of Murray Adams. A little bit of gap between them. It's side by side as Thompson tries to get back past William Kirtler. It was a lot of sausage curb there from the 774 machine, and he is not going to find speed by doing that. However, he is over the rear end of William Kirtler here. This is the fight for 10th overall. It is the fight for 2nd and 3rd in the Pro-Am class, though, and they are going to be taking the points for those podium positions, so they are going to be fighting hard to try and get the best position that they possibly can. Thompson gets a lot of sausage curb there, but does keep it on the track and will head around ahead of Carl Thompson right now. That was Kirtler, who got the sausage curb, not Thompson. Thompson is the driver behind, chasing down. Jamie Dorey is another driver chasing down here, and he is chasing down Craig Twardock to potentially move into 5th position here as we head on towards the final lap of Asking. Adam Delmont leading the way. Jamie Dorey does not make that move. He knows the last lap of the race is the time you want to be the driver following. Murray Adams is going to know that too as they fight for 3rd position, but the white flag is out as these drivers now head on to the final lap of Asking. Is Murray Adams going to look up the inside of Mikey Doble into turn number 1? He certainly is. Mikey Doble is going to stick behind. He goes for the switchback though. He's going to carry the outside line through turn number 2. If he can keep it all the way out there through turn 3 as well, it will turn into the inside line. Jamie Dorey trying to do the same with Craig Twardock just behind. Mikey Doble and Murray Adams, a little bit of a knock side by side with their door there. Jamie Dorey to the inside behind, Mikey Doble to the inside in front, but it will once again switch back across into Murray Adams' favour. Jamie Dorey now has managed to get the car placed back on the inside ahead of Craig Twardock, so should be able to hold that. Murray Adams holds 3rd position. Jamie Dorey holds 5th position, but the speed advantage with the tow is going to go Mikey Doble's way as they head up towards the final corners on this lap and of this race with the white flag out. We are through turn number 9. Mikey Doble all over the rear end of Murray Adams here as they are fighting out for 3rd position. Behind the gap a little bit bigger out as Jamie Dorey has managed to pull a little bit of gap ahead of Craig Twardock in this one. We head up now towards turn number 12 with Mikey Doble chasing down. Murray Adams does a little bit of a nudge there. Mikey Doble bumping into the rear end of Murray Adams. They both keep it inside track limits though, and they are continuing to push hard in their fight for the final podium position up towards turn number 15. We've seen instants galore through the race. They're going to remain single file through there. And now Mikey Doble is thinking all about the exit, all about the tow. Murray Adams is thinking about placing his car to the inside and getting the inside line into the final turn. And that's exactly what he's doing. But Mikey Doble runs as far to the left as he can. But that is Murray Adams blocking the way. Doble has to go to the outside. He's going to brake a little bit earlier to try and do the switchback through the final turn. It's going to be all about a drag race towards the line in the battle for 3rd position. Mikey Doble's off the circuit. There's contact between the two of them as they cross the line. Mikey Doble is going to take 3rd position, just 1/100th of a second ahead of Murray Adams. But Adam Delmont wins the race ahead of Kieran Sharp. Matthew Sheverton, even after the contact with Ben Oucher, will win the Pro-Am class, and Kirtler holds on to Thompson to take the podium there as the drivers behind all come across. Matt Gatter here chasing down Alan McCain to try and take 17th position at the end of this one. That'll be 7th in the Pro-Am class. McCain is just holding out front at the moment though. McCain doing great in the Pro-Am championship as well. They come across the line to take home 17th and 18th, but for the 2nd time today, it is Adam Delmont who wins here at the Motorland Aragon, and it is for the 5th time this season that he takes a victory. The most that anyone else has won is 2 times. Isaac Doble and Nick Clibbins have both won twice. Adam Delmont has visited victory lane 5 times this season and is not showing any signs of slowing down as we head into the final 3 rounds either. But again, that gap between Mikey Doble and Murray Adams, 0.015 seconds over the line. Let's have a look at the results then from race number 3 here. 14 laps of asking, and it was a win once again from championship contender Adam Delmont. And the man who was P2 in the championship and very possibly could be leading the championship after this weekend is in second. Mikey Doble finished that one in third, ahead of Murray Adams. Their gap between them just 15 hundredths of a second. Jamie Doyle finished that one in fifth, ahead of Craig Twardock. Matthew Cheverton won the Pro-Am class. Ben Archer came home in 8th position after fighting for a potential podium. Nick Clibbins taking home 9th, and William Kurtler second in class there, 10th overall. The rest of your field was Carl Thompson ahead of Andrew Pike and Adam Wilson-Weir. Andy Outhouse came across the line in 14th, ahead of Mark Hughes and Michael Clough, who ended up recovering then after the contact under the safety car that sent him into the barriers and down pit lane with the meatball flag. Alan McCain came home in 17th position, Matt Getter in 18th, ahead of Lee Horn and Isaac Doble, who did finish the race even after getting taken out of that one. Leslie Brazil came home in 21st, ahead of Phil McDougall and Adrian Fritsch. Out of the race was Sam Spinell, Nigel Stock, Mark Sykes, Sam Smith, rounding out the field for that one as we come to a close here, and we will catch a couple of drivers then at the end of that so we can talk to them. And Ben, it wasn't quite the race that you wanted, contact with Cheverton, but you got involved into a nice fight towards the end at least.
Yeah, the last few laps were pretty fun. Yeah, with a bit of contact with Cheverton, it's just unfortunate. He was slower through there than I was expecting, and it caught me out. Yeah, just a couple of places where he took different lines or was braking at different points to me, and yeah, one too many times. And it's going to catch me out eventually, which it did, so it's unfortunate.
Fortunately for you, though, it was your best result of the day, going into that 8th position. So at least you managed to get to the end of the race without damage on your car this time.
Nope, I had damage.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Wipe out what I said.
I had some damage on the front end. It was making me a little bit slow in the long straights, but it wasn't too bad otherwise. So.
Well, hopefully it will go a bit more your way and we could find you back at the top of the field as we head into the rest of the season. Of course, as we head across to the Red Bull Ring next week, it's a very similar to the Monza style racing. It's going to be a lot of slipstream. How are you feeling about that one?
Yeah, I'm not too bothered. I'm not a huge fan of the Red Bull Ring. I kind of feel it's a little bit boring of a track, but it's not too bad. I think it'll be pretty good in these.
I mean, it's got 8 whole turns. That's a lot of turns, surely. Yeah, it's a lot of straights, so I think it's going to be very similar in Monza in that style, and hopefully a bit cleaner than we saw in Monza. But you're 10th in the championship heading into here. It'll be slightly different heading out. So hopefully in the final 3 rounds, you'll find some points to your name again.
Yeah, hopefully, but I'm not too worried. I'm just enjoying some of the racing, to be honest.
And some great racing we're getting at that, as even after that contact with Cheverton, you were able to get yourself involved and have a bit of fun. So hopefully that's the way it will go for the final 3 rounds as we head up towards Christmas as well.
Yeah, hopefully. Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much, Ben. As coming home in that one in 8th position in that pro class behind Matthew Cheverton in the end, following their contact. I didn't pull Isaac Doble in after race number 2 because I wasn't sure how he was going to be feeling after that one. I am going to pull him in after race number 3 because following a tiny bit of contact, we spoke about that contact, Isaac, in the first race with Sam Spinell. It seemed to cause a bit of a spur with Spinell, contacting all 3 races in the end.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to be my friend after race 1, to be honest. But that's how it goes sometimes. People can do things like that. But I've got the points. I'm not too far back in the championship now. I won't dwell on this mishap. But
I was going to say that.
Look at the next round.
you made the choice to keep on going. You came down pit lane and got your car repaired, and you did end up coming out on 20th. So those points matter, don't they? Even if you haven't finished at the front, every point matters in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Every point matters, and towards the end of the year, if it's close, then I'll be happy I stayed out for those last races instead of just coming in and calling it a day.
Of course, the last time you had a weekend this bad was back in Monza, but I think that it shows that, well, the first round of the season you had a poor round, the first round of the second half of the season you had a poor one, so hopefully strong results in the next 3 should see you fighting for that championship again.
Yeah, I hope so. Try and keep it on the track and see if I can close down that championship gap.
Talking about Monza, next week we're at Red Bull Ring. It's going to be another circuit with a lot of slipstream, a lot of close side-by-side action. How are you feeling about that one?
Yeah, hopefully I'll be quick around there. I've done quite a lot of races around there, and as you say, it'll be another slipstream track. So qualifying will matter, and just try and keep it clean and score some solid points.
Well, good luck for the rest of the season. I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon. But yeah, looking forward to Red Bull Ring next week.
Yeah, thank you.
That was Isaac Doberlin. That one coming home in 20th in the end following the contact that was going on. And finally, we will pull back in the driver that we have pulled in at the end of race number 1. We pulled in at the end of race number 2. And in the end, coming home 6th in class, 16th overall. But I think it could have been better. Issues under the safety car for Michael Clare.
Yeah, it feels right to close the loop and talk to me now, I guess, doesn't it? But yeah, I think there was a big accident after the corkscrew section, and I think just drivers regaining their awareness weren't aware that I was there and got turned in. So that put me fairly far down. But then the safety car was a bit of a relief because it gave me an opportunity to catch back up. And I think someone didn't realise that we were under safety car and was racing me. But it is what it is, and I was happy with the pace at the end, closing the gap to the train in front. You know, they're all drafting each other and still closing down. And like you say, 6th in class, so it's not a total loss, is it?
Well, you were the second fastest in class with your best lap as well, so you were showing that pace, and it went your way, it didn't go your way, it went your way. It was a bit of an up and down weekend. We head to Red Bull Ring next week. It's going to be very similar to the Monza style with the slipstreaming. How are you feeling about heading into that one?
I think it's a track that everyone knows, isn't it? So it's one of those where there's probably not worth thinking too much into it. We're all going in with a pretty equal level of knowledge, so there's no benefits to be gained from it being like an obscure track. I'm just going to have to race my own race like every week and hope it's not raining, because I am not good in rain.
How important, or well, I say how important, it's obviously very important to get tow around on these qualifying laps with them being open qualifying sessions. Do you find yourself finding the same drivers out there working together with the tow, or are you just trying to find anyone that you can follow along when you do circuits such as Aragon along the back and then Red Bull Ring next week?
Yeah, pretty much, because you hear guys in the Discord chat working together, and they have done for multiple seasons of NXTGEN Racing. But it's my first time racing on NXTGEN with iRacing, so sort of working my way into the group. Hopefully, I'll get thrown a bone and get a draft with some guys. But you know, they've got loads of pace too, so keeping up with them is a challenge in itself. So yeah, just latch on to whoever I can. And see where I end up.
Well, with this weekend, again, an up and down weekend, you are sitting 8th in the championship here. And even with the up and down weekend, it has been your second best weekend of the season, your best being at Zandvoort. So even with some of the lower results, you've had a good showing here.
I think that's the main thing, is just to keep chipping away and not get too down on incidents and just keep on going, because you know, ending up in 16th, and I think I maybe only overtook about 4 or 5 people the entire race. It's not too bad, because you know, people are gonna quit or get damaged or fall back, so you just got to keep going and see what happens at the end on the line.
And by sticking into it, it meant that, yeah, you pulled up into 6th in class, which is a really strong result for you. And it means heading into what is now the final 3 rounds of the season, you're sitting comfortably inside that top 10 and could, as you say, slowly chip your way closer towards the front.
That's it. Yeah, I think as I get more and more used to iRacing, I'll get more and more consistent, and hopefully I'm able to react to things going on in front of me a little better each week.
Well, good luck for the rest of the season. Hopefully we'll be talking to you more as the season continues as well, and we'll see you towards the front of the Pro-Am field once more.
Thank you. Good night.
And that was Michael Clough there. Finished that race in 6th position. Again, as we were saying, had a bit of an up and down weekend as the sessions progressed, but did come home to finish quite nicely in that one. But once again, Matthew Cheverton won the Pro-Am class for the 2nd time this season, and it's the 2nd time this weekend as well. He won the first race of the day in the Pro-Ams. He won the final race of the day in the Pro-Ams. So it is currently now getting towards the second half of the, well, we're now into the second half of the season. We are seeing drivers no longer finding first wins of the seasons, but a lot of repeat winners. Championship standings then heading out of this one here. These are all provisional before any penalties are applied. Of course, Kieran Sharp is now going to be leading your Pro Championship with 216 points ahead of Adam Delmont, who sits on 203. Isaac Doble is now with 193 points, and Mikey Doble is closing in on that one as well with 168, pulling Jamie Dory up with him as well. So the top 5 in that Pro Championship sitting quite close again. Phil McDougall having a very poor weekend here. It's the 2nd worst weekend of the season, tied with Brands Hatch is worth with 14 points gained, only 16 points gained here today. Moves Alan McCain back into the Pro-Am Championship lead with 209 points. Phil McDougall sits on 176. Just 1 point clear of Matthew Cheverton, who now sits on 175 points. A further 2 points clear of Carl Thompson, who sits on 173. So right now, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, separated by just 3 points in that Pro-Am standings. But next week then, we are going to be heading across to the Red Bull Ring circuit for round number 6. That will be on the 2nd of December as we head into the back end of the 2025 year here at NXTGEN, and we head towards the close of not only the end of the Mazda series, but the end of the NXTGEN Racing in 2025, as this series is the final series to be continuing here. 3 more rounds left to go then. We head to Red Bull Ring next week. Thruxton still on the calendar as well on the 9th of December, and we're going to head across to Motorsports at the end of this season on the 16th of December. Do not miss any of it. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you hit the follow button to follow the NXTGEN Racing Facebook page. Hit that like button and share the stream as well. If you're watching over on the YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you are notified when there are new live streams at the NXTGEN, and also hit that like button as well to show your support for this stream. And if you're watching over on the Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button as well so you're notified when all of the broadcasts go live over there as well. But here from the Motorland Aragon circuit, we are going to come to a close. The sun has now set. It is dark, and we are going to wave goodbye to the wonderful sights that we had here and the amazing racing. Thank you so much for watching, though, and I hope you join us next week for round number 6 as we head across to the Red Bull Ring in the Styrian Hills. We'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.